From the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is Roz and Mocha.
It's Roz Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow!
You just won $1,000.
It's amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man. This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I was almost one of those over the weekend.
One of those.
So, no, man.
One of those. I have no idea.
So I parked the car and I ran into the liquor store. And right before I parked the car and ran into the liquor store, because I was just coming from another store, I had my mask on.
Yes.
And right before I got out of the car, I had to sneeze, so I took my mask off.
Sneezed.
Put the mask on the seat beside me, ran into the store.
With no mask on?
With no mask on.
Oh, no. Karen's going to be mad.
Okay. And this woman runs down the aisle of the store as I'm walking through the double doors.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on. There's like a security guard beside me who starts walking over to me. There's like an employee running down the aisle. And I'm like, what is going on in the liquor store today?
Robbery,
yeah. Right?
Or there's a fire.
Yes.
Sir, get out.
Thank you. And she slides right into me and is like, do you have a mask? And I go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But the look on her face was like, please don't make me deal with one of you people today.
Right.
I don't want to have this fight of I don't need to wear a mask. Not on my shift.
Right.
Okay, please.
She thought that maybe you were like a male Karen.
Like I'm one of those.
Yeah, a Darren.
Right? Yes. And I'm like, I was almost one of those. So it's the doors that you like, that like open and close, the automatic doors. Thank you. That's what I was. Yeah, the sliding ones. And so I was just a little bit too in. And then so they close behind me, and then I go to turn around and walk out, and I can't walk out. So then I got to walk through.
No.
Okay, I got to walk through the store, and I don't know what to do at this point. So I do full Dracula, and I take my arm. Okay.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. Okay. I take my arm. And I put it over I put it over my face. Okay, and I put my head down like I'm running through a hard wind. Okay.
Hold on, let me try that move so I can see, just so I can get the full effect of what it is you're doing. So you're going like this?
Yes, like that, yeah. And head down. Yes, head down, like that. Bend at the waist a little. Like you're running through a hard wind. Yes, like that. Okay. So I go running out of the store, and I'm parked right out in front.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling terrible at this point. So I open the door and I grab the mask off the seat. And as I'm pulling the mask off the seat, I had hooked it with my finger, and it falls off my finger and it lands in a puddle.
Oh,
okay.
No.
And I'm like, I don't want to go home and get another mask. I'm like, I know I have another mask in here somewhere. Yeah. And
also, I need my liquor.
Okay. I was already out. I'm already out. So I go rooting through the truck, and in the center console, I start digging around, and I find, remember when all of this started a year ago, COVID?
Yeah.
And everybody was sort of improvising with masks,
yeah.
Right? Like nobody really had a proper mask, and they were all ill-fitting and everything else. So the only one I had with me was one that I actually never wore, and it's so small.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, it's tiny.
But does it cover your nose and mouth?
Barely.
Oh.
So I go now into the store with it looks like I've stretched a thong over my face. Okay?
Yeah.
Like it's barely covering. And it's not that it's so small, it's not that it's flipping down under my nose, it's flipping up at the bottom, and so it's going in my mouth. So I'm like the reverse person who doesn't know how to wear a mask. We're very used to seeing people with the nose popping out, but it's rare when you look at somebody wearing a mask and all you see is their bottom lip. Okay? Yeah. So I'm now
ineffective.
Okay, very ineffective. Yeah. Okay. So I'm now trying my hardest, because if I pull it down over my bottom lip, it comes down off my nose. If I pull it up over my nose, you can see my bottom lip. So I think the best thing to do is to just tuck it in my mouth, hook my lip in, and bite it down. Right? Okay. So this is how I decide to go back into the liquor store.
Oh my God.
Okay. Yeah. And then so I get what I need and I go up to the counter, and the woman who ran towards me was actually the woman who is now checking me out. And the only words that I could get out were, I had to sneeze. And then I bit the thing again. And then I bit my mask again. And then I paid for my stuff and I got out, and then I threw that mask in the garbage on the way out because I never want to go through that again. Yeah. But anyway, I almost became one of those people this weekend. And this poor woman, right? This poor woman looked like she was going to have the worst day ever. So I guess the moral of the story, what I'm trying to say is just wear your mask. Okay.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
They asked people, if you could pick one age to be for the rest of your life, what would you choose? It's kind of a loaded question because you are certainly not going to say an age that's older than you. So I guess it would depend on how old the people were who asked this question. But the question was, if you could pick one age to be for the rest of your life, what would you choose? Because there is a clear winner, a very overwhelming number. That
is the
people
age
did.
33?
No, but you're close, though. Why would you say 33?
Because I think that is the perfect kind of like mid-range where, not for everybody, but I would say maybe most people, at least I was at that time, kind of had things figured out.
Yeah.
Know where I wanted my life to be.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Went through the experience of being a teenager, early 20s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, you kind of got that out of your system a little bit. Yeah. You're coasting for a little while at 33.
Yeah.
Before things start to get crazy with children and whatnot, right?
Right.
Okay. Maury.
I was going to say exactly 30.
Why exactly 30?
Because you're not in the icky numbers, and 30 is easy to just say.
No. But what about the being 30?
You're not like you're not old. It's the perfect age. You're still able to go hang out with young people. You're still able to.
What young people were you hanging out with at 30?
Yeah.
Oh,
no young person wants to hang out with a 30-year-old.
They didn't know I was 30.
Oh, here we go. The answer was 30.
What do you mean? Hold on.
Yes.
No.
They didn't know I was 30.
Everyone lies about their age
It's called
when
disclosure. No, you're right. People do lie about their age. And
age
lying
is just a number that you're willing to say.
Age is just a number that you're willing to say. You're not wrong, but some people also call that lying, right?
But it's only lying
when you lie. 36 was the age that people said that they would pick if they could be one
age. Did they give like answers
for the rest of their
Can
lives.
we argue that?
No, because and I think it's everything that you had said. I think that it's probably at that point of your life of where you feel that you have things figured out, both emotionally, your sort of friends that you're going to take with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You know, you may at that point own a home or a condo, whatever it may be. I think that that's the sort of age where people felt that their lives came together, where there was a lot of wins for them before things started going, downhill.
Right.
I'm not saying that things start to go downhill quickly after 36, but I'm not saying that.
Was that what was your answer when you read that headline?
I thought around that time.
Okay.
I thought around that time. But then I thought, no, you know what? I'm going to say the age I am now.
Okay.
Because if I had to
Which
sort
is
of
40, say it.
No, but I'm just going to say the age that I am now. Everybody knows. I don't have to say it.
You forgot, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hello.
Hi, Michelle.
Hey.
Hey, it's Roz and Mocha. How you doing?
I'm good. You?
Good. We wanted to call to calm your nerves. Your fiance, Dennis, reached out, texted us, and said, my fiance is a huge fan of you guys. She listens to you guys for hours daily as she's driving most of the day. She's going into surgery, and she's super nervous. Would it be crazy to think you guys could call her to wish her well? So not crazy at all. We wanted to check in to help calm your nerves and to see if you are actually okay.
Yeah, no, I couldn't even sleep last night. I think I woke up like 4 times.
What's going on? What you haven't done?
I'm getting my wisdom teeth removed.
Oh, okay.
But all 4 of them. I think one of my tooth are growing sideways. So I told them to just knock me out completely because I was too nervous for anything else to be done. Right?
What do they do with
Even
your wisdom
being like
teeth?
partially awake.
Do they normally knock you out, or do they not knock you out?
Well, they had like 3 options: laughing gas, just the needle, the anesthesia, and then just the IV, where they put me to sleep completely. but apparently IV, like you're like loopy after too.
I'll tell you why I would want to be knocked out, because it's not the pain, right? Like that's not what would drive me nuts. It would be the pressure that I would feel in my mouth of them doing like the digging and the pulling and because you can still feel pressure.
Yeah.
You might not feel the pain, but you would still feel the pressure in the hand in there and the everything digging, because how far my wisdom teeth grew in.
Yeah.
I have all mine.
I had all 4 of mine removed at once.
You did, huh?
Yeah, they didn't put me under. They just gave me some sort of gas.
So you had the laughing gas.
Yeah, yeah.
And do you remember feeling the pressure, though?
Tons of pressure.
And what was that like?
It was weird because they were cutting with a saw, and you felt like you heard the saw. You felt them there.
Yeah.
But you didn't feel anything else.
Do you have your wisdom teeth out, Mocha?
No.
You don't?
The most extensive, like, mouth surgery had ever been was root canal.
Did they grow in, your wisdom teeth, or did they just not grow in?
I don't think they grew in.
Really, huh? I have all 4 of mine, and I have room for more teeth.
Really?
On my jaw, yeah.
It's because your head's so big.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Shush.
yeah, I know.
I mean, no,
Mine-
it's
mine
not. It's
haven't-
because it's
mine haven't
a
come in.
weird thing that the dentist can't explain. It has nothing to do with the size of my head.
How long is the procedure, Michelle? Like, what'd they say?
Oh, honestly, I have no idea. They just
Oh,
told
you
me
didn't
to
ask?
check any water. Couldn't eat after midnight last night.
Does your fiance have to, like, wait around, or will he just get a phone call to say, come pick you up? Or do you have
no,
to, like, get home yourself?
He can't even. No, he can't even leave the office. They make him stay there through the whole surgery.
Oh, I don't know if I would do that for Catherine.
How hard was it to get
What?
I'm joking. I got stuff to do. I'm a busy guy.
Okay.
Listen. How bad? I'd be like, how much pain are you in right now? Can we wait until September?
Oh, my God.
I'm
Until after the vaccine.
I don't want to go sit in some waiting room with sick people, man.
No, you can go sit in the truck.
Nah,
outside.
they're not allowed. He's not allowed to leave. He's got to wait there.
He has to wait, Michelle, he has to wait in the office, or does he, like, wait for you at the building? Like, can he go sit in the car?
No, like he's in the office waiting, like in front of reception.
Yeah.
Oh, you couldn't wait till September, huh?
See?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, now it all makes sense, right? Now it all makes sense. What do you got, Maury? What do you
Okay,
want to do?
so why didn't the dentist let Jack Nicholson keep his extracted wisdom teeth?
No idea.
He can't handle the tooth.
It's like, man, you got to find like more current references for
Yeah.
your material,
Okay.
man.
I don't get that one.
Did you see the documentary about wisdom teeth?
No.
It's called An Inconvenient Tooth.
1 out of 10.
Okay, go ahead.
No, that's it.
Oh, that's it. Okay, never mind. That's all you get.
Yeah, two teeth jokes?
With the same punchline.
Yeah.
It was tooth for truth. Like both of those jokes had the same punchline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I
cool.
do have a question. Was it really hard to get an appointment, or did you have to fight tooth and nail for your appointment?
Okay, never mind. Don't answer that question. This poor girl's going for surgery today, man, and her poor husband has to sit there and wait.
I know.
I feel worse for your husband, actually.
Oh, but you know
At
what you
least,
can
at
do?
least you're going to be knocked out.
Like most, no,
Yeah.
I don't know how this joke goes. Never mind.
Never mind, Maury. Okay, thank
Hey,
you.
Michelle, thank you very much for spending part of your day with us. We definitely appreciate it, and we wish you all the best with your dental surgery today.
Thank you guys for calling. You guys eased my nervousness a little bit.
Good.
Yeah, and I want to wish your husband luck as well. Because he's got a rough day ahead of him too. I don't want him to get lost in
No,
all
but hold
this.
on. Like, Danny, you're allowed
you
to bring
gotta
your phone, or like you can bring a laptop
Doesn't
or like an
matter.
iPad,
you
right?
ever sat in one of those chairs in a waiting room? How long can you handle? I got 10 minutes in me, max.
Yeah, then you get up, you like walk
Max.
around. Oh, I guess you can't even walk
What?
around.
And I'm the guy walking in circle. No. You know, you wait till September. That's the nice thing to do. If you loved your husband, you'd wait till September.
Thanks, Michelle. Love you lots.
Bye, guys. Take care.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Podcast.
Last night was pretty traumatic.
What happened, Maury?
So I play scratchers all the time, the lottery scratchers.
Yeah.
And there's one called the Big Spin. And if you get the word spin, you can go and you get to see the
You
big
know that
wheels.
only people who shouldn't play scratchers call them scratchers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I call them scratchers because on TV and I hear other people call them scratchers.
other people who shouldn't be playing scratchers.
Yeah, who play too much.
Yeah, most people just call them scratch and wins or whatever the hell.
But that's like so many words.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was playing the scratchers.
How much are they?
$4.
Which ones do you buy?
The Big Spin.
And what's the grand prize?
$500,000.
And what have you won so far on scratchers?
Zero.
Zero. Okay, cool.
Okay. So last night I'm
Do you
scratching.
do them? Do you scratch them in the store or do you bring them home?
I bring them home. I do it on the cutting board.
You have like a whole ritual?
Yes.
What do you use to scratch it?
With my thumb.
With your thumb?
Yeah. and it
Like
turns
your
all-
your nail?
Yeah, and it turns all silver.
okay. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
So I got the spin.
Does Matthew know?
I got the big spin.
Does Matthew know that you do scratchers?
Yes.
Okay.
So we got the big spin.
Mm-hmm.
And Matthew was like, oh my God, don't talk loud. The neighbors are going to know. And something's going to happen. Like they can't
And
find
they're going to
out.
bust through your door and steal your scratcher.
People are going to know that we won the big spin.
Okay.
And he's like, oh my God, okay, put your jacket on. We're going to
Put your jacket on?
We're going to go right now.
He's going to throw you
We're
over the
gonna go
balcony.
right now.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. I want you to be warm and comfortable.
He's already
so
got the plastic bag and a belt in his hand.
Put in your zip it up in your pocket. We're going to go right now.
Okay.
And we want to, let's see what happens.
So explain what happens. I don't know. So you get a spin, and then what do you have to do?
So you go to the grocery store or whatever.
Oh, you have to go back to the store if you get a
And you
spin?
see-
scan
no,
it
No, you
with the
see on
app?
the no, you see on the anime. No, because the screen, then the big wheel spins on the screen, and it'll tell you what you win. And if you win
God,
big
it's a whole
wheel,
process?
then you have to go to the.
Why can't you just
Hold
scan it
on
on
a
your
second
phone?
here.
No, because there's you have to see the big wheel spin. That's what tells you what you won.
But the big wheel doesn't land on something based on what ticket you have? Like you have to go to another random thing and play another game?
You can either win between $10 or $100,000 on the computer.
Okay.
And if you get big wheel, then you go to the center, and then you actually physically spin a big wheel.
Jesus. They're asking too much.
Yeah, too much hoops.
They're asking too much.
So
I
we
would be
walked
like at
around
this,
the
I
block.
don't need the
So
money.
we walked around the block, planned what we were going to do with our big winnings.
Okay.
We were like, oh my God, we're going to pay off the condo.
Sure.
We're going to, with the rest of the money, we'll buy the bedroom
With
TV
500
fund.
grand?
Yeah, we'll pay off the condo.
Yeah, okay,
We're going to buy the TV that we want.
And buy shoelaces.
And he's like,
with what's
okay, I'm
left
going to
over.
wait outside. You go on in.
Wait outside? What, like standing guard?
Standing guard.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to go in. You
Yeah.
do that. And if there are other people in the store, leave immediately. That's too many people. They're going to steal your money.
Okay, not to look weird or anything. Okay.
So I go in, I spin the big wheel. There's like cheering, there's like sound effects.
Wait a
It's
second.
like super loud on
Oh,
the
okay.
computer.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's just like there's like as it spins, and my heart's
I've
pounding.
never seen one of these wheels in a store before.
No.
Have you?
No, this sounds like too much of a process.
I've never.
For a
I
scratch
have
card.
I have no
So
idea what you're talking
my heart
about
is
right
pounding. I'm like, oh my God, this is the moment I've been waiting for my whole life.
now. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it lands on $10.
Oh, okay. So congratulations.
It's great.
You
What are you
walked
gonna do
out.
with all that money?
You
I
walked
bought
out in the
bananas
cold.
and ice cream.
You walked
No,
out in
no,
the
I
cold
used
last
it.
night. Got a soaker for $10, right?
Scratcher.
No, but I mean, getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So what's the
So
story?
condo's paid off, and you can get that new big
No, I
screen
bought
TV.
I bought bananas and ice cream.
Did you tell Matthew you won $10? Or you tell him you won nothing?
No, I said the bananas and ice cream. That's what we won.
Okay.
And he's like, so we had that whole conversation around the block for nothing?
Most conversations you have are for nothing, Maury.
That's true.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
How are you, man?
Good. I had to lie to Catherine yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Just saying. Right?
Was it like lying for good? Or
Yes, lying for good, but for my own good.
oh,
Because I know Maury's like, finally you've come to the dark side. No, lying for good because I didn't want to deal with the conversation had I told the truth, because it would have been a much more difficult conversation to have and harder to justify.
spill the tea, girl.
So I pulled into the driveway yesterday at the same time Catherine, I guess, was parking on the street. And I got out of the passenger side and I walked around. I got out of the driver's side and I walked around the passenger side because I had some stuff in it. And then just all I felt from behind me was cold fingers in the back of my pants.
Okay.
Okay. And just yanked them up.
No, she gave you a wedgie?
No, just yanked them up. And I go, hey. And she goes, your whole ass is hanging out. Because I got out of the car. I was wearing loose pants.
Uh-huh.
I guess I walk around and my whole ass is hanging out. So she grabs me in the middle of the driveway in the daytime with construction workers beside her.
Yeah.
Working on the house. Everybody hanging out by their trucks.
Yeah.
She pulls up my pants and she goes, your whole ass is hanging out. And I said to her, I go, oh, I didn't even realize. And then she goes, yeah, like your whole ass. And I was like, oh, yeah, thanks. And then we walk in the house. I couldn't tell her the truth because I know that if we got into the house, it would have been part of a much larger conversation.
Which is?
Which was, it's not that I didn't realize that my whole ass was hanging out of my pants. I fully realized that my whole ass was hanging out of my pants. I just didn't care in the moment.
Oh. Oh, no, you're at that level now?
Thank you. Okay. Like that conversation right now that you're about to start with me is the conversation I didn't want to have at home. So I got out of the car and I felt like the wind, like it was a little chilly. There was a breeze and I felt the wind hit my ass. And for some reason,
In your mind,
in my mind, I didn't care.
Yeah.
Because it felt so good.
No, I felt nothing. Like, I felt nothing towards it. I knew my ass was out, and I thought, how long am I going to be outside for? Another 16, 17 seconds, then I'm in the house, I'll deal with it there. Right?
But it'll warm up inside.
Yeah, I just didn't care. And then I spent the entire day thinking about why I didn't care that my ass was out of my driveway.
Oh, no. So your ass hanging out of your pants ruined your day.
Well, it didn't ruin my day.
But lying felt great?
No, lying did not feel great.
That's why he's saying.
Maury.
He was
Lying
thinking
felt
about it the whole day.
awful.
Yeah.
Lying felt awful. Lying
just have to
should
do it a
always,
few times.
Lying, it's not one of those things that if you do it a few times, Maury, it starts to feel better. Okay? Don't come at me with that logic again.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is...
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Hi, Farrah. It's Roz and Mocha. What's going on?
So, my husband is cheating on me, and I have proof.
Oof, yeah, so Farrah, you wrote it says, Roz and Mocha Fix My Life. So clearly my husband is cheating. I keep catching him texting the same woman from his workplace, and they were clearly having an emotional affair. He's apologized, yet I found different phones in the house.
Wow.
It's been a continuous cycle now for a year. How do I find the courage to just leave? I still love him a lot, but he clearly is giving another woman all the love that I deserve. Is this just a phase or a midlife crisis? And should I just leave this should I just let this phase pass, or should I leave?
Yeah.
How long has this been going on for? Like, do you think, or has he told you?
So he hasn't told me. I caught him a little over a year ago.
Okay. And when you said you caught him, are they like you caught him in the act of texting, or was it one of the multiple phones around the house that you found and you started going through the messages?
No, it was in the act of texting. I caught him texting her, and I just turned and I was like, "Oh, who are you texting?" It was a lot of heart emojis. All of that, and then he apologized. It was just a cycle. He apologized, he cried, he said he wanted the family more. I thought he left the moment, but I kept catching his other phone in the house, hidden in my closet, sometimes hidden in the bathroom closet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is this a physical affair and you're only seeing the texting side of it?
I'm not sure if it's physical. He denies it. For sure, it's an emotional affair. It's they keep texting each other, "I love you," and we want to spend the rest of our lives with each other, and all of that.
And so you've already confronted him, right?
Yes, several times.
Okay, because in situations like this, and when it comes to the emotional affair, this is why I don't like and have never used. I hate when people start using the terms, my work wife or my work husband. You know what I mean? Or like that kind of thing. Because it's disrespectful to the person that if you are actually in a relationship. But when this stuff happens, is it cheating or is it not cheating? Because a lot of guys who get involved in this stuff will convince themselves that it's not. And what makes it cheating, or at least what makes it devastating to somebody in your position, is that it's done in secret. This isn't something that was done out in the open. And then you're gonna confront them, and they're gonna turn around and try and explain it away as well. Just because when you and I got together doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to have friends. And he's gonna say this is nothing more than a friendship, and then you're gonna say, well, why do it in secret? And he's gonna say, because you're gonna react just like this. Right? And he's going to throw it all back on you. That's the sort of way that these situations play out for the most part. And then what he's going to do is he's going to use this person as a sympathetic ear. He's going to use this person to prop him up and tell him he's great because he's got a crazy overreacting wife at home. Okay? That's the sort of cycle of how this keeps going. And so I think for you, instead of going scorched earth and nuking the whole thing, do you guys have kids?
Yes, we have one child, yes.
So my immediate reaction to you is that if you feel that you can rebuild trust, then work has to be done. So you're talking therapy, full openness, honesty, all that other stuff. But I would say that you have to, instead of you taking full control and blowing the whole situation up, I think that you need to put it in put it all on him. I think that if he wants to prove that, he chooses the family over this other person, I think that you then need to ask for proof. I think that you need to say, okay, well, what are you willing to do to sort of reestablish your role in this family? And you need to put all of this on him, and these need to be things that he needs to accomplish. Otherwise, you're just the crazy wife who complains all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Have you
That's
seen
what I
any of
think,
the
yeah.
Have you seen any of the text conversations that he's been having with this other person?
Yes,
Yeah?
several times. I tell you, this is going on for over a year. It stops for a month, or probably I've just not found out about it yet. And then another month, I'm just finding a phone, a text message, an email, a flight ticket booked to somewhere, and it's
Wow.
just this. Yeah, it's just this continuous cycle, and then he apologizes, he cries, he says he's going to make up for it, and he's going to just spend all this time with the family.
Yeah, but Raza's right though. Like, what are you gonna do to make up for it? Like, what are you going to do to fix the family and fix the situation and fix your relationship?
Right. After a year, I'm just at the point that should I leave, or is this just a phase? So
It's a
I'm
long
just gonna
phase if it's a
ask you
phase.
guys.
Yeah.
I will say this, that leaving him puts absolutely no pressure on him, and it certainly won't force any change in his behavior. And he actually may walk away feeling like he's the victim simply because he's going to continue thinking that your marriage ended and the family broke up because of your overreaction, unless he's willing to have pressure put on him and then make changes and do hard work, because that's what this is. Now, if you feel that, you're never going to be able to trust him again, and you've given him ample amounts of pressure to sort of come around and change, then you need to, you need to talk to lawyers.
Yes.
And that should be, that should be your next step. And then to just, get out and make this as clean as possible. If you feel that he is not going to react positively to pressure to change and show results.
He clearly thinks that I will never be able to leave. If I haven't left yet for since a year, I think he thinks that she's never leaving, and I can lead these two lives, like
Right.
keep me at home and then keep that woman there, because clearly she doesn't want anything more than just the affair. She has a family of her own.
Oh God. Yeah. This ain't good. This, Jeez, and this will blow up. It's only a matter of time before it blows up.
Truth always comes out, Farrah.
This is not a sustainable thing, but obviously they're blinded by they prop each other up, and they're able to get from each other what they feel that they don't get from you and from her husband. And that's a terrible place. You wind up being in a position of, either feeling old or worthless, or, you always feel like a nag, and, you can be fun too. And, why don't you want to do all this stuff with me? And that's the hurdle that you have to climb. And that's up to you, whether you feel that you can get over those feelings and rebuild trust. If he's willing to change, and if he's not willing to have the pressure put on him to change, then again, your first call should be to a lawyer.
Okay. Yeah.
So you got some options there, Farrah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Roz, and thank you so much, Mocha.
You're welcome.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
On Kiss.
A few weeks ago, TikTok user Gunnar Michaels posted a video where he said he's looking to marry a complete stranger.
I want to marry someone from TikTok. No, really. I'm going to fly me and you, wherever you are, out to Las Vegas where we will get married. I think people take life too seriously, and I'm just here to prove that it ain't that deep. Life's a game. Let's break some norms. So run this post up. I'm trying to meet my future wife. Share this with someone you think will be perfect. I appreciate you.
So he received thousands of replies, including one from Danielle Gross, who people fell in love with and said that she should be the one to marry Gunnar, and they did. They got married on Valentine's Day in Vegas, having not met each other until then. There they are, the newlyweds, Gunnar and Danielle. Hello, welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show.
Thanks for having us.
So it's been just a little bit since the Valentine's Day wedding, and you guys, and I just sat there here and watched everything that you've done leading up to this moment on your TikTok, and it's really wild. And now that it's real, now that it's sort of like the crazy is over, we drove, we did it, what's the relationship like now? Because obviously you guys have to build a relationship after the marriage, right?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely, we're getting to know each other leading up to the marriage, and you obviously can't do a relationship in 2 weeks, so we're just trying to navigate how we want to approach this now. And like I said, we're in different locations now, but we do have intentions of coming back and doing a little more traveling together.
Okay, so Gunnar, you are where? You're based out of New York, and Danielle is based out of, is it Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the plan in your discussions? Are you gonna, who's moving where, or are you both gonna pick up and move somewhere new?
I think we're just gonna do a little travel together in the ambulance. Sorry, go ahead, Danielle.
Yeah. I'm currently in California in the middle of the desert. So.
Oh, right, because you live in an ambulance that you tricked out.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So after the wedding, Danielle, you continued driving to California, and then Gunnar, you flew back to New York. And how long were you guys together after you got married?
So yeah, I stayed in Vegas for maybe a couple, 3 days after that. And then my brother actually got invited to this little van life meetup, and he told me about it. So I had to tag along, and I've been hanging out with these van life people ever since.
Are you guys falling in love?
Oh boy, love's a strong word.
Yeah, but you're married.
True.
I don't think you need to always get involved to be married.
Yeah, no, but you know what I'm saying. I mean,
Like you put it out there, Gunnar, that you were like looking for a wife, right? You're looking, you wanted to do it the unconventional way, and you had like thousands upon thousands of emails and DMs come in, and the one from Danielle not only got your attention, but got like 7.6 million views, which means it got attention from everybody else. So there's got to be something there between the two of you.
Yeah, I would definitely say we have like chemistry. You know what I mean? We get along extremely well.
But are you falling in love? Are you falling in love?
I don't know if we want to talk about that just yet.
So have one of you said "I love you" to the other?
No.
No, we can say no on that one.
Okay. Now, did you want to, let me just clarify something here, Gunnar, because I'm going back and rewatching all your videos, because Mocha just brought up a point where he said that you had said that you wanted a wife, and I don't think that's what you said. I think you just said that you wanted to get married, and I think that there's a difference between wanting to get married and actually wanting a wife or wanting a relationship.
Yeah, you're right there. I was looking for just to fulfill the act of getting married more so than to fall in love. You know what I mean? I was just seeking a crazy experience with someone else more so than a long life of love and happiness with someone else.
So Danielle, the status of the relationship now is you're obviously hanging with all your van people, which sounds awesome. So what's the status of your relationship? Have you guys talked? Is this and I don't want to get too personal here, but is this like an open marriage? Are you guys free to see other people?
I mean, it literally just happened, so I feel like we're kind of just seeing what happens, honestly.
Because I imagine now there's a lot of guys out there that want to hooked up with the girl who married on a whim and lives in an ambulance. I think that you're very attractive to a lot of people right now. Your DMs must be blowing up.
I mean, I did just meet this guy, and he was like, "You know what? You should just marry me next." And I'm like, I don't know if that's how this works.
So was the wedding legal? Have you guys filed the paperwork, or was this just a wedding ceremony?
It was legal.
No, we're legally bound.
Jeez, that's a big step, huh?
So being married, now officially for a week, and then Gunnar, you traveling from New York to Vegas with Danielle in her tricked out ambulance. What was your first fight about?
I think that the most that I could think of that we fought was just other people asking what makes us mad about each other, and we were sitting there for ever trying to think of anything.
Right.
Oh damn.
Have you been approached to sort of to sell this story?
Not sell it, but we've definitely done some other interview type things.
But would you sell this story? I mean, it seems perfect for
a movie or TV show or something?
Yeah.
Can I star in it?
Yeah, well, sure. Why? I don't care. Star in all you want.
It's your story.
It's your story. I'm not negotiating. I mean, you want to star in your own movie? Star in your own movie. I'm just asking whether you guys are talking to people right now about the rights to this.
No, there's no one that we're in talks with about the rights.
Okay.
Right.
Well, you both sound lovely. People just fell in love with your story, and I'm all for stuff like this. I did stuff like this when I was younger. You know what I mean? And I think I think that the experience and the fun and the everything is, why not? Who gets hurt in a situation like this?
Exactly.
I will just say this though, even though that this was for fun and it was crazy and it was wild and you guys are both awesome. When it comes to lawyers, if this doesn't work out, they don't care that it was just for fun, just so you know, and they're still going to charge you the same to get out of this if you guys feel that that's what you want to do down the road. They don't care. Lawyers don't care that it was just for fun.
Yeah, there's no such thing as like a just for fun fee where it's like at a discounted rate.
Yeah. There's no fun lawyers out there to deal with your fun marriage.
They join in on the TikTok story.
Of course they will. Nah, you guys are the best. It was such a pleasure talking to you, and your stories were just awesome, and I think you're both just great.
Gunnar and Danielle, thank you very much. All the best to you, and we appreciate your time on the Roz Mocha Show.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
See you guys.
I love both of you.
I love you too.
Okay.
Oh, damn, not even to each other.
No, not even. See how easy it is? See how easy it is? It's very easy, right? It's very easy.
5 minutes on the phone with us.
All right, you guys are the best. You're the
Have a great
absolute
day,
best.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I got to play you this real quick.
Okay.
Everybody has there's so many videos where people have screwed up on Zoom in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
And this one led to an entire California school board resigning.
What?
So
did they do?
they were having a board meeting with members of the school board.
Okay.
And it was, I guess they thought that it was only just the board members who were on the call. I think it was a WebEx call that they were on the call. But they sent out a link and publicly live streamed the whole thing.
No.
And during the call, they were really talking crap about parents. So you'll hear this in the clip, but one of the board members says that because parents were, I guess, the relationship between a lot of parents and a lot of teachers and a lot of school boards right now is very contentious because parents want their kids back in school, teachers are fighting back, all of this stuff. It's a fractured relationship in a lot of places. And one of the board members says that you'll hear, she said, the teachers, the parents pick on us because they want their babysitters back. At another point in the call, which is not on the clip that was released, one of the board members accused parents of wanting their kids back in school so they could just sit at home and do drugs all day.
Oh, no.
And so you'll hear in this clip them talking about parents and wanting their babysitters back. And then you'll hear the moment where somebody points out the fact that this is not a private meeting, but it is in fact being live streamed.
Are we alone?
Yeah.
If you're going to call me out, I'm going to you up. Sorry, that's just me.
They want to pick on us because they want their babysitters back.
Right.
Right.
Uh-oh. Laura Lanier, just FYI, you guys have the meeting. Oh, we have the meeting open to the public right now.
Nuh-uh.
That's what Laura just said.
Great.
Oh, no.
So-
it was in that moment they know they effed up.
Right? So there was a petition that went around. 7,000 people signed the petition for the board members to resign. Right now, as it is on the school board's website, all of those positions are now listed as vacant.
Oh, no. Y'all screwed up big.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Did you hear Post Malone do that Hootie and the Blowfish cover?
No.
Okay.
Wait, didn't he do something like this before?
Yeah, what did he cover the last time? Oh, he did a whole Nirvana set. He did a whole live stream with Travis Barker on drums.
Right.
Where he did
Man,
that.
I love Post Malone so much.
So this is, you put the original Hootie song in, right, Mark? So you have the original Hootie one there. This is for, and Post Malone gets involved in the weirdest things, and then you realize that it's not the weirdest thing because you're dealing with Post Malone, and he's just that dude. Remember we found out that he was like starting his own beer pong league? And he like takes beer pong very seriously. So this.
What about like selling out Crocs?
Yeah, and Crocs. Yes,
Right?
yes.
He's in the business
Thank
of
you.
Crocs, and every time he
Thank
releases,
you.
there's a new like Post Malone Crocs drop. They sell out instantly.
So he did this cover of Hootie and the Blowfish, Only Want to Be With You, in honor of the 25th anniversary of Pokemon.
Excuse me?
So there's going to be a virtual concert on Pokemon Day, which is Saturday at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
on the official Pokemon YouTube channel. I don't know if he's a huge Pokemon fan or what Hootie and the Blowfish has
Wouldn't
to do with
surprise me.
Pokemon, because I'm not a huge Pokemon fan. But anyway, Post Malone can now add Pokemon to his list of eclectic tastes like Crocs and beer pong. So here's the original, and you're going to be surprised because Post Malone's cover of the original is Like, he didn't mess with it. And that's what I think I like about when Post Malone does a cover, is that he doesn't mess with it. So here's the original Hootie and the Blowfish.
Sometimes you're crazy, and you wonder why. I'm such a baby, 'cause the dolphins make me cry. Well, there's nothing I can do.
Right? Right. Okay. Now here's Posty's version.
You and me, we come from different worlds.
Yo.
Bro, right?
You laugh at me when I look at other girls. Sometimes you're crazy, and you wonder why. I'm such a baby, 'cause the Cowboys make me cry.
Holy.
There's nothing I can do. I've been looking for a girl like you.
Right?
Okay. Can I just say?
Yes.
One word.
No.
What's that?
He changed Dolphins to Cowboys.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
No disrespect to Hootie and the Blowfish.
Right.
With an iconic song like this.
Yes.
But I actually prefer the Post Malone version
Isn't it good?
more than Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah.
Dog, if he released this today as a single, like his own song,
I know.
we've been playing it all the time.
Hootie could buy a boat just based on what this song would sell over the weekend.
Yes.
Right?
Yo, I'm actually stunned right now.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, this is
Right?
so good.
Isn't that good? He has, that's the thing I like about Post Malone, man, is that he steps to the side of himself when he's sort of honoring somebody else. And when he's doing a cover of a song or a band he likes, the priority is almost like paying respect to that track as opposed to putting the Post Malone stamp on it.
Yeah.
That's good though, right?
Yo, I'm like,
Dude,
no joke.
I know. I got nothing else to say other than I really dig it.
I was not expecting this song to sound this way.
Yeah.
Like, listen to the guitars and everything.
Yeah, man.
This is amazing.
Yeah, I know. He's so good. He's so good.
And it's going to be on a friggin' Pokemon concert?
Listen, Post Malone's going to be performing the song during his headlining performance during the Pokemon Day virtual concert, which takes place this Saturday at 7 p.m. on the official Pokemon YouTube channel. That's all I know. But I actually don't know if I need to know more because it's so good.
Wow.
Right?
Holy. You have no idea. I'm so shocked.
I know.
I
Yeah.
love this. Post Malone, you are the friggin' man.
Yeah. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hi, Jennifer. How are you? It's Roz and Mocha.
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I want to talk to you about this text that you sent in.
Yes.
Listen to this, Roz.
Go.
Jennifer said, is it weird that my friend doesn't know how to swim or ride a bike, but she can ice skate? We are both in our 30s, and I just found out that she can't ride a bike, but I knew that she couldn't swim. We are both first-generation Canadian with immigrant parents, so I wanted to know if this was typical for other first-generation Canadians as well.
So, geez, I don't know. I can't speak of I can't speak of first generation Canadians, but I've known people who couldn't either swim or ride a bike in their adult lives, and I didn't know those people when I was young because when I was young, I grew up in a small town with space.
Yeah.
And when I moved to the city is when I started meeting adults who couldn't swim or ride bikes because they didn't grow up in space. They grew up in an urban environment where riding a bike and like learning how to ride the bus system was more important for a kid than learning how to ride a bike. And so I don't know where you guys grew up, but listen, do I find it weird? No, because you know your parents teach you to do what your parents teach you to do, and you're not going to learn how to ride a bike on your own because you need a bike, and no kid is going to buy their own bike. And next thing you know, you're 25 and you don't know how to ride a bike. But Mocha couldn't swim for the longest time. Mocha only learned how to swim last year.
I was just going to say, yeah, I went my entire life. My dad knows how to swim. My mom does not know. Both of my sisters don't know. Actually, no, my sister Laura knows. My
Yeah.
sister Lisa doesn't. But we weren't like the family that, we never got signed up for swimming lessons.
Right.
Right. I understand. I know now, like, it's a life skill. And I do wish that I had learned earlier. But it wasn't something that we were signed up for growing up. It wasn't like something that was mandatory in school. I learned how to ride a bike. I learned how to ice skate, right, at a young age. Like, my dad used to take me to the community center every weekend, every Saturday and Sunday to practice skating and to freely go skate around the rink. But in terms of swimming, I only just learned how to swim last summer. So I don't think it's weird. I think it just depends on the environment that you grew up in and what your parents kind of expose you to, right?
Yeah, I'll say this. Learning how to swim, you have to teach your kid how to swim, even if you don't know how. You have to put your kid in swimming lessons because that's something that's just going to straight up keep them alive.
Yeah.
Okay? Kids need to know how to swim. Because then you develop a fear, and you don't want your kid being paralyzed with fear around water. Now, when it comes to learning how to skate, my philosophy when I had a kid with Roxy was, you don't have to learn how to play hockey, but you have to learn how to skate. You're a kid growing up in Canada. You got to know how to skate simply because I don't want you missing school trips. I don't want you to have to say, sit on the bench when you get invited to a kid's birthday party where everybody's going skating. I don't want you to be that kid. So you don't have to learn how to play hockey, but you're a kid growing up in Canada. You got to get going to learn how to skate because that's just the way the world works up here. So I made sure of those two things. But as far as like riding a bike, kids, I think, gravitate towards bikes. Like some kids just see a kid riding a bike and they're like, I want to do that.
Yeah, like how did your friend not experience even trying to ride a bike?
I don't know. It's just weird to me that like riding a bike and learning how to swim is such like a quintessential part of being a child, and ice skating is not for me. I mean, I do know how to ice skate. I taught myself. So it was just so weird to me. I don't know. I just couldn't. We went on vacation once, and she's like, "I can't go in the pool. I can't."
Oh my
swim.
God!
That's the worst.
Yeah. When you used to go on when you couldn't swim, you went on vacations, Mocha, right? What was that like?
It was so embarrassing and sad at the same time.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, because I couldn't go swimming with my wife. We went on these beautiful excursions, and she'd be like, "All right, later." And she'd go.
Oh, that's where you go. They take you out on the boat and all that stuff.
Oh, dude, it was so embarrassing. I'll tell you guys. So one year we went to Cabo with friends, and they really wanted to do this excursion. And they take you out like far, really far, and you go whale watching and all this stuff. And then we get to this beautiful place, right? It was a nice, like 30-something degree, hot-ass day.
Yeah.
And everybody in the excursion got out of the boat to go swimming. While the person, one of the instructors, like took you on this little tour of all these cool little like nooks and crannies of these places that you would typically see on television, right? Like they go like there like for episodes of like The Bachelor and Bachelorette, right?
Yeah.
Like real sexy looking places.
Yeah.
And it was me and like one other dude who didn't speak English on the boat. And another excursion had pulled up like next to us, and all those people got off. So the dude that doesn't speak English is talking to the other dude that's like watching the boat on the other boat, and I'm pretty sure they probably said some stuff about me.
Yeah.
I just didn't know
Yeah.
because they were like talking, and then every now and then they'd laugh and giggle.
Yeah.
In my own head, I'm like, for sure they're laughing
Why
at me.
couldn't you just doggy paddle with a life jacket?
No.
But I will say, I know a few people have tried to learn how to ride a bike as adults.
Yeah.
And it is much more difficult than to learn it when
I
you're
think
an
because you
adult.
get in your own head.
Well, you do, but also falling hurts way more.
Oh, that's
You
true.
fall from a much greater distance when you're grown than when you do when you're 4. But yeah, no, it's interesting. But yeah, growing up in the city, I met a lot of people, but only when I moved to the city who didn't know how to swim or ride a bike.
I don't know how to rollerblade.
I've never tried to rollerblade.
Never?
No.
Oh, wow.
No, no. Don't you remember that joke?
What?
The joke about rollerblades?
No.
Okay.
Should I? I love rollerblading.
There
by
was
the way.
one
Don't ruin
joke.
this for me.
Bill Burr talks about this all the time. It's the power of one single joke, which was, and you can bleep this because I don't want anybody repeating this. But the joke that ruined rollerblades was, if you remember, everybody was rollerblading, right? It was the hottest thing, and it was only cool. Like, learning how to rollerblade was only cool. And then one person told a joke and killed rollerblading, which was, the joke goes, what's the hardest part about rollerblading? Telling
Oh my God! What?
Right?
I never heard that joke before.
That was the joke, and as soon as that joke made its way into the world, people stopped rollerblading.
Oh my God!
And everybody threw them in the garbage.
Well, thank you very much for your text, Jennifer. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Take care, guys.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Do you watch Succession at all?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I'm not fully caught up, so no spoilers.
I don't even know if I could spoil it. Oh, I guess, no, you're right. I could spoil it. Yeah. Now that I think about it.
I know you and Sean watch that show.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I'm shaking his head. Yeah, no spoilers.
So, Cousin Greg.
Yeah.
Right? You know,
love him.
Okay,
Yeah, he's great.
love Cousin Greg. He turned into the star of that show in the spoilers.
Spoilers? Come on, man.
Oh, my God.
Bruh.
I can't tell you how good telling you how good somebody is not a spoiler. Anyway, he's trying to pick up Kim Kardashian. Nicholas Braun, a.k.a. Cousin Greg.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, what?
No, he's not.
You don't
Is he
think you
really?
should shoot his shot? I don't know. I want your opinion on this because I don't think he's serious at all. But I don't know him well enough. Like, I don't know his sort of non-Cousin Greg real-life persona to know how much of a troll he is. But he sounds like an incredible troll.
Where does she go at this moment? You know, because she's been through 3 marriages now, and it's like, are you willing to even take a shot on a new guy at this point? Like, would you be down to meet a new person, totally just kind of different guy? One who could, you know, make you laugh a little bit or make you feel small because he's so tall. Or just a guy who's talking about her on the internet, like a video, like make a guy who makes a video like this and he's just sort of like trying to find a way to just talk to her because he doesn't know anybody who knows her.
Come on. That's...
I think it's 2 things. I think one, he's trolling, and I think that,
For sure.
you know, I think that he's just having fun. But I also think that if he gets a reply, he gets a reply. Right?
It's like this great... Hold on, let me find it here.
That guy's funny, though, man. Nicholas Braun. So
I
different
think-
from
I
his
think he's
character,
trolling.
too.
I think he's
Oh,
trolling.
he's absolutely trolling. But what I'm saying is that if Kim Kardashian reached out, do you think that he would say no? Like if it worked,
Oh,
you
absolutely.
could. Okay,
No,
thank
no,
you.
of
So what I'm
course he
saying
would
is,
say
you
yes.
can troll and you can goof and you can do all this stuff. But if it actually turns out to work, where if you got a DM from Kim Kardashian,
Yeah, being like, yo, you mean Calabasas
yeah,
anytime soon?
exactly.
It's like, I saw this thing on Twitter where this guy wrote, my boy bet me that I never dated Issa Rae. And he, at Issa Rae.
Yeah.
I showed him a picture. He blocked me. Tell me I'm lying.
Right.
And it's a picture of this guy that he just photoshopped
A picture
of him and Issa Rae together.
Oh, okay, cool.
Right?
Yeah.
But the picture is like, she's like, I think on a red carpet somewhere because she's not even looking at him at all.
Yeah.
Right? He didn't try to Photoshop like his arm around her. He's just standing in front of her.
Yeah.
And Issa Rae saw that tweet
Yeah.
and replied and said, "He sound like a hater to me. Miss you." So I mean, I don't know.
True.
I don't know.
No,
It
I
could
know.
happen.
I
you
know.
never know. Kim K's eyes could be on that video right now.
Bro, hey, Jeannie Bouchard, I bet you this. And next thing you know, they're together for a year,
Yeah,
right?
that is true.
Yeah. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So people shouldn't be traveling, and people still are, and there's rules everywhere now.
Yes.
If you decide to travel, you got to
Yes.
quarantine, you got to do tests, and
Yes.
you got to prove that you've done a test, all this and that, right?
Or not.
Or just not. The Baha Mar is a resort in the Bahamas. Drake was recently there with Meek Mill and Lil Baby, just kicking it. Listen to this. The Baha Mar in the Bahamas has a plan to quarantine any travelers who go down there with the coronavirus, who end up getting coronavirus. The resort says it will provide a courtesy private jet service back to the States or give guests a complimentary 14-day stay if they test positive for COVID prior to departure. It's called the Travel with Confidence program. The resort would also give any infected guests a daily dining credit of $150 per day for up to 14 days in quarantine while they stay in a courtesy suite.
Almost worth it.
Right? Like, why put this information out there?
I know. I know. Yeah.
You're just encouraging people to go out to paradise to kick it on your at your expense.
Yeah. Sounds worth it to me. I don't know.
But yeah, this resort in the Bahamas. Again, if you test positive, they're going to provide a courtesy private jet service back to the U.S.
If you test positive, like
Yeah.
the incentive is to go there and get corona, right?
Right? Yeah, exactly. And you get a complimentary 14-day stay plus dining credit, $150 per
And
day.
that's only if you get coronavirus?
Yeah, if you show up there and you get coronavirus, and they do like complimentary tests and everything.
So if you show up there without coronavirus
Mm-hmm.
and then you start making out with the help. I don't know. I don't know what goes on at these resorts.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then you get coronavirus. You then open up the world of perks,
Yes.
right? You've leveled up at that point with your
huge.
vacation, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's wild to me.
Right?
Yeah.
So who wants to go to the Bahamas now?
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hello?
Hi, is this Katie Adamson?
This is her mom.
Oh, it's Roz and Mocha calling. Katie texted us.
Oh,
Hi.
my goodness.
Can we talk to her?
Hi.
Is she around?
Absolutely. She's right here. Hello.
Hi, Katie. It's Roz and Mocha.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
How old are you? That's fine. We're
I'm
strangers.
fine.
I get it.
Yeah.
You don't have to say.
Yeah, you don't have to
No,
say.
the only reason why I'm calling is because you texted and said, I really love your show and I would die to be on it. I don't even care if I win anything or not. So I just wanted to call. We wanted to call just to say hi and thank you for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show.
You're welcome.
Now that you're on the show, what do you want to do?
I don't know.
Oh, cool. You want to shout anybody
But
out?
in your text, you said you would die to be on our show. So you are now on the show.
I don't know.
You got anybody you want to shout out? Anybody you want to say hi to for proof?
Not really. I don't know. I thought it would be cool.
Yeah, it's cool so far. I mean, I'm having a great time.
All right.
Are you having fun?
That's my phone.
You can answer it.
Oh, but yeah, I know. It's just my dad's fixing my alarm clock.
Oh, okay. I got you. You got a lot going on, huh?
I have Kiss on. I have Kiss on right
Okay,
now.
turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it. Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
Okay, turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. That doesn't help.
sounds like
That
chaos
doesn't
in
help
there.
things at all.
All right, cool. Well, this has been great. Thank you, Katie, for listening.
You're welcome.
All right. Between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite? How about that?
I don't know.
All right.
Okay.
Well, it was great talking to you. Thank you very much for listening,
You're the
Katie. Have a
best.
great day.
Later, Katie.
Bye.
Yeah. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
All right, time to check in with Juno Award winner Cardinal Official. 5 albums deep with a 6th one on the way. He's also the executive director of A&R at Universal Music and just teamed up with Amazon for a special project. Mr. Cardinal Official, welcome back to the Roz and Mocha Show.
Yo!
Cardinal Official, been a friend of the show forever, always working, always inspiring, and always trying to help educate, whether it's through music or even on your own social media. Tell us about the Amazon's Black Employee Network, how you got involved, why you thought it was important, and the basic message that's getting out there.
I mean, listen, what's incredible is it's like, you know, I tend to do this all year long, but especially with the focus during Black History Month, like I love to take part in a variety of different events and activations that can help amplify the message and, you know, kind of educate everybody as to what is happening present day with people in the Black community, but also, you know, for a lot of things that have happened. And I think, you know, living in, you know, I don't like to call it this, but a post-George Floyd society, right now we have a lot of people who are really, really engaged and who want to become progressive in learning, you know, how we can make all these different relationships between races and cultures and ethnicities, how we can make it better in society. And, you know, besides, you know, even at Universal starting a group called the Black Label Coalition, where we've done some big work. What I loved is that I saw something similar within the Black Employee Network at Amazon. You know what I'm saying? They were doing some incredible work as well. And we had an event where I sat down with DJ Roses. So shout out to Rosalie. And, you know, we spoke about all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Everything from what can each of us within society, what can we do? What, you know, how can we reconcile the past, but also, you know, look forward and make the future a better place. But we also spoke about a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? We spoke about, Quest for Fire. That's my album that had like Bacardi slang and old time killing and all that. It's the 20th anniversary this year. You know what I'm saying? This April. So, we spoke about that. And, even crazy stuff like, Dangerous, 12 years later, is charting globally in over 25 countries thanks to TikTok. So shout out, to all my ladies that have been making that go crazy.
Like,
so it's a time.
What was your reaction to that when, as you said, so much time has passed since Dangerous came out and like took over the world, and now it's taking over the world again? What was your reaction when you found out that this has like become a viral thing on TikTok?
Listen, what's great is that, things are changing within the music industry, as we know, annually, but now things are changing like month to month. And what I love is that we're not even looking at the music industry the same way. We used to look at it kind of like, old school songs and then songs that are like brand new and coming out today. But what's interesting is with all these resurgent songs, the older, some of the older songs are becoming the brand new songs today, due to things like, radio playing it, but then also streaming. You're having a lot of young kids who are discovering these songs for the first time. So it's like, a lot of songs that we grew up loving are becoming brand new to the new generation. And it's just a whole new business that we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So it's super incredible. And I love the fact that I'm able to be an artist that's smack dab in the middle of it right now with this brand new wave of things that are happening, but also, being an executive and being able to, help steer it in the right direction.
Cardinal Official joins us right now on the Roz and Mocha Show.
What's it like for you being, you and having the length of the career that you've had where out there right now there's some young kid who discovered you from TikTok who's telling some other young kid about you as if he just discovered you?
Because it's you asking this question, Roz, what I will tell you is I actually still pretty much look 19 in the face.
Oh, listen, I wasn't talking. I wasn't saying anything about physical here, man. Okay, like, come on now.
Listen, I tell these young kids all the time, believe it or not, I was only 11 years old when I made Dangerous.
True. I remember that. It was a huge story in Canada. It really was. Like, you were like this child prodigy. It was like
Here's
people
this kid
don't remember
in elementary
that.
school who linked up with Akon for this hit record.
Like, it was
exactly.
not to mention
it was a middle school project that I did, an after school project.
Not to mention that you were 6'3" when you were 9. But we all remember that.
I mean, listen, dude, I live an enchanted life. I'm super thankful. I love it because in a brand new way, it's able to just reinvigorate and really just engage me with a brand new audience as well as my core fan base that never went anywhere. So, I mean, it's super sick. And it's like, not just songs like Dangerous and all the other hits that have happened, but even working with the city of Toronto, and we partnered with the Raptors. I produced a song that's called Freedom Heights for Black History Month with their Awakenings program. And it's like, it's an intergenerational song. So you have me and, of course, the Queen Julie Black on the song. But then you have brand new artists like Savannah Ray, Emmanuel, and even Susan Carroll from Dallas, Texas, who got on the song. And not only is the song fire, with all the proceeds going to, constructing and the maintenance of the NIA Center, but, it's amazing because one of the first times, I was part of Northern Touch, which, combined, rappers from the West Coast and the East Coast. And we made this, just incredible song that had such significant cultural impact. But now we're doing an intergenerational song. Man, it's like just having the opportunity to be at the forefront of new music and all these new artists, but as well just capitalize on all the stuff and all the work that I've put in. Like it's crazy, man, and I love it, man. I feel so blessed.
Cardinal Official, The Quest for Fire, Volume 1. That album turns 20 in 2 months. You're going to join us again on the show to chat about it. We cannot wait.
Listen, you know that I love you guys. You guys have always been amazing supporters, and I love all the KISS fans and the fact that every Friday you guys still play my loud ass voice, before you guys rock out. So I appreciate you guys more than you know, and for sure, 1,000% I will be there, bro. So you let me know, and we can have a party on the radio. Let's do it.
I'm ready. Cardinal Official, always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us on the Roz and Mocha Show.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
There's a super sweet, super cute dog that is looking for a home, and we know that you could help.
We're going to find a dog a home today. Her name is Daisy. She's at Dogtails Rescue, and Catherine pointed this post out to me. She's a special needs dog, and she needs help. Other than that, she's perfect. Like, she's fun, she's happy, she's gorgeous. She's 7 years old, but she is a special needs dog. And Catherine showed me this Instagram shot yesterday from Dogtails Rescue and was like, "You and Mocha got to fix this now."
Aww.
And I was like, "Okay, we'll see what we can do."
Cassandra from Dogtails Rescue is on the Roz and Mocha Show right now. How you doing?
I'm so good. How are you guys?
Really
great.
Really great. Cassandra, the reason we called you, my girlfriend Catherine was in and around on scrolling through Instagram, and she was on Dogtails Rescue, which is your organization. And she forwarded me a message or a post that you guys did about Daisy, and she looked at me and said, "You and Mocha got to find this dog a home." And then I read the post and I sent it to Mocha, and we were both like, "Oh my God, we need to try and find this dog a home." And we're here today to help you to do anything we can with the audience that we have and the platform that we have to help Daisy find a forever home, because her story is incredible. And first of all, welcome to the show, and thank you for being with us. And what can you tell us about Daisy? Because she's been with you guys since 2018, right?
Yeah, so she's been with us for going on about 3 years now. In 2018, we got a call from a rescuer overseas that brought Daisy to our attention, and they had fundraised a bunch of money to just send her over and to have her live the life that she should. So in 2018, we got her, and she was in really, really horrible condition, but from the start was the most sweet girl. She had been through so much abuse where she came from, and we've had her ever since. She's been a bit harder to adopt out because of what her abusers did to her. She is fully incontinent, so she will just kind of go to the bathroom whenever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a little bit of a struggle to find the right person that's able to take care of that day to day.
So since Daisy's arrival with you guys back in 2018, have people come by at least to meet her or to spend time with her, or has no one even attempted to give Daisy a home?
There's been, the past few years, there's been a few people that have come and met Daisy. A lot of them didn't understand the extent of her incontinence.
Yeah.
And then there were a handful of people that did want to bring her home. But unfortunately, she doesn't get along with cats. So that has been a tough one too, yeah.
So she's a special needs dog, and other than that, she's beautiful and wonderful and happy and all of this other stuff, right? What do you say is the perfect place for her? Because obviously people I'm wondering if I can, if this would work with my life, if we have the place for it, if I'm even the type of person for it. You have to have kind of a profile in your head of who would be the sort of perfect person and what the right environment would be. What is that?
Yeah, for sure. So just getting to know Daisy the last few years, she's amazing with children. She'd be amazing with a busy family that just wants to give her love, attention, and play with her. She's totally fine with people, and she really craves love. But definitely, no cats. Someone that is home often enough where they can clean up after her and check her bedding to make sure she hasn't soiled herself, and be available to give her baths frequently.
Mm-hmm.
And then she is okay with other dogs. She's okay with larger dogs. But due to her breed, she's a pointer mix. Any small animals like cats, small dogs, wildlife, she's really not good with. So ideally someone that has a fenced backyard too.
Even if somebody is sort of interested right now in Daisy, the special needs dog that you guys are looking after, one of the things that people think of in their own head is, oh my God, this sounds expensive.
Yeah. So with Daisy, we have placed her as a forever foster.
As a forever foster?
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
So what that means is Dogtails will cover all medical costs for life. We just want her in a home, basically.
Okay.
We just want her to be with someone day to day.
So you guys, so Dogtails will cover her medical expenses, whatever those may be. So this won't be on whatever family adopts her or takes her in as a forever foster, right?
Yeah.
Which is
and
huge.
Yeah. She also doesn't have much medical. She's healed from her injuries.
Yeah.
It's just more that's what's happened to her body, so she can't go back from the incontinence. But other than that, she's a happy and mobile and healthy girl.
Okay, so Daisy, again, has been with Dogtails Rescue. We're going to do our best to try and find her a home. She's been with you guys for 3 years, and you like even post pictures of her being like, Daisy's got another Valentine's Day all alone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, you guys do such a great job. You honestly do. Your Instagram is beautiful. The pictures of your animals are incredible. Like, if anybody, please, it's Dogtails Rescue on Instagram, right?
Yes,
Okay, and what's your phone number?
So our phone number is 905-713-1887, and we can also be reached through email at info@dogtails.ca too.
Okay,
And then are you doing like how are you setting up appointments? It can't. I understand it might not be able to, bring your entire family, but can one person from a family come out to you and meet Daisy?
Yes, so we do phone calls first just to make sure it's the right fit, to chat more, get more information, and then from there we do all outdoor appointments now. So the family is welcome to come meet her as like the second step after the phone call, just to learn more about her and just meet her and fall in love with her. Like anyone that meets this dog will fall in love. She's like Velcro. She's stuck to people.
Okay, so it's Dogtails Rescue. Go on their site. Daisy's 7-year-old pointer. She's gorgeous, but she is very much a special needs dog. We know the right family and the right house is out there somewhere. And if this appeals to you in any way, or you got a big heart and you're willing to do the work to get the love back from this gorgeous dog, then please get a hold of Dogtails Rescue. Okay?
Thank you, Cassandra.
Thank you guys so much. We'll let you know if she finds a home.
Thank you.
You take care.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah. The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
So much going on in Bachelor. So we'll quickly recap what went down last night. It was hometowns and blah, blah.
Great recap. Tell it again.
Yeah, okay. Because everything about this show is now secondary to everything that's going on with Rachel Kirkconnell and Matt and then Chris Harrison. Everything in the show is sort of secondary because they can't change any of it now because it's all shot and it's all filmed, and now they have no choice but to just let it play out the way that it's going to.
Yeah.
Is he going to pick Rachel? Is that the deal with this? He's going to wind up with the girl that did all the racist stuff. That's great. So anyway, on the show last night, Serena, in an unprecedented move.
During these unprecedented times.
She sends Matt away in a limo. She's with the final four hometowns.
Hold on a second.
Yes.
He had to get into a limo?
Yeah, they were together, and then she sent his ass away in a car, as opposed to the other way around. Listen to this.
I think it's important that we do have an honest conversation, especially at this point. I mean, we had such an obvious connection and chemistry right off the bat, and things were so great with us, and I felt so excited and good about everything. But I think you also know that I've had moments where I struggled and did have doubts. We have the most amazing time together, but when it came to being able to actually talk about my feelings for you and how I felt about you, I really struggled. I think that it just comes down to the fact that I don't think that you're my person.
Oh, damn.
It sucks to hear that because I just want what's best for you. And if that's not gonna be me and I can't make you happy and be all those things for you, then like, that stinks.
Oh, get in the car
And then,
go.
and then afterwards, they got him alone, and he was all teary-eyed and had this to say.
The easy thing to do when I was talking to Serena was run. And that's what I wanted to do, because that's what I've seen my whole life, is just to run from difficult conversations. But nothing gets resolved. And now, in the back of my mind, I think about the other women. I'm scared. What if their feelings change?
Nope.
The last thing I want to do is leave here with a broken heart.
Wow.
And of course, he's in a terrible position because if he does wind up with Rachel, he's now has to deal with everything, the fallout of all of that went down. But so he released a statement yesterday. I'm going to read you some of this. You let me know what you think. He said, the past few weeks have been some of the most challenging of my life. And while there are several episodes left of the season, it is important that I take the time to address the troubling information that has come to light since we wrapped filming, including the incredibly disappointing photos of Rachel Kirkconnell and the interview between Rachel Lindsay and Chris Harrison. He goes on to say, the reality is that I'm learning about these situations in real time, and it has been devastating and heartbreaking to put it bluntly. So he winds up with her, right? He has to wind up with her. But then how do you deal with this now? How do you deal with the first black bachelor winds up with a girl who's liking friends' Instagram shots in front of a Confederate flag? Like, what do you do with that?
You break up with her.
And then so the other thing is that ABC and Warner Brothers have spoken to Rachel Lindsay about the possibility of hosting the After the Final Rose.
Oh, wow.
Now, this according to a source, however, they say, quote, she is still weighing the options and is pushing for an After the Final Rose to include a bigger conversation about race overall in the franchise, and no final decision has been made yet. So what are your thoughts on Rachel stepping in to host After the Final Rose?
I have no problem with Rachel at all. I like her. I think people like her.
Yeah.
I think she'd be a great host.
Yeah, but this is turning into just an absolute
I wonder if this is like
nightmare
step
scenario.
one of Matt's response. So, okay, he ends up with Rachel, right? And this announcement is step one. And then step two, because eventually they'll break up. I think at least. And then step two will be him releasing another statement being like, part of us breaking up was because I didn't agree.
Right.
Or I think
What
that
if
everything.
they don't break up, though? What about that situation? What if they don't break up? Is there a chance that they don't break up? I don't think
There's
so.
always a chance that they won't break up.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's the latest in Bachelor World, y'all.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
WandaVision. No spoilers. No spoilers. If you watch WandaVision, you're going to love what I'm going to play for you. If you don't watch, I still think you're going to enjoy. If you plan on watching, then you decide if you want to listen to what I'm going to play. I don't know if this is a spoiler or not. Actually, maybe. But whatever. It's fun.
If you're doing what I think you're doing, it's like the biggest spoiler of the season.
Should I not then? You want to talk about something else? No, it's not. It can't be.
Of course it is.
Is it?
Even in the name of it, it's the biggest spoiler of the season. I think I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Let me
use your mouth and don't say anything?
I'm going to try and be cryptic about this. Are you going to play that song?
The song. I shouldn't, right? Don't play it?
How do you not think that that's a spoiler? And I don't care. You know me and spoilers.
You love them.
Right? Well, I love them for things I don't like. Right? I get great joy out of spoiling things that I didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
But if you think that there's a way to do this without spoiling it for people, unless we've given enough notice right now that we're going to talk about WandaVision. So if you haven't seen WandaVision, I don't know. Here comes a spoiler. I guess. I don't know. I don't know the rules of spoilers.
This is just way too lit. I heard it yesterday, and I've been watching the tweets, and the reaction to it has been incredible.
Okay. I just don't know how you put this into context without spoiling it, but I don't care. So go ahead.
The king of spoiler alerts
Yeah, whatever.
approves.
Yeah, I don't care. Go ahead.
Okay, so more than enough warning, all right? More than enough.
Yes.
This is the song that had everyone going nuts over the weekend. And a producer from Chicago by the name of Leland Philpott did like a trap remix of this song. And it is dope. I listened to it a bunch of times yesterday.
What's the name of the song?
I'm not going to give you a spoiler.
Please. You can't introduce a song without saying the name of the song. You've done that 10,000 times on this show. You're not going to do it now?
I'm not going to say anything. No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I respect too much.
Oh, God.
Trapaholics mixtape. Dang, son, why'd you make this?
God, I love this so much. That's not a spoiler, right?
Wait a second. Are they saying that it was Agatha all along?
Spoiler alert!
Let me get this straight. It was Agatha all along?
Bro.
And I killed Sparky.
I couldn't hear that part. I don't know.
Hold on now. It was Agatha all along?
No spoilers.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Going through the story on the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, the people behind the Golden Globes.
Okay.
Because nobody really knows that much about it. Like the Golden Globes are like, it goes the Oscars, then the Globes, and then sort of everything else, right? Like we all just know that. Like it's just the sort of way that the world works.
People's choice, something like that.
But like, who are the Golden Globes? Because we know everybody gets up there and they thank the Hollywood Foreign Press Association and all this stuff. Because the Academy, when you're dealing with the Academy, it's a very large group.
Yeah.
Right? It's a very large group. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association is 87 people.
What?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's 87 people.
That's it?
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. But so in November, a federal judge sided with the Hollywood Foreign Press Association and dismissed a potentially damaging antitrust lawsuit. So there was a reporter, a journalist named Christy Flaw, and she accused the Hollywood Foreign Press Association of instituting, quote, a culture of corruption, claiming the tax-exempt organization operated as a kind of cartel, barring qualified applicants, including herself, and monetizing all important press access while improperly subsidizing its members' income. So she goes on to say that thousands of dollars in compensation is what these Hollywood Foreign Press Association members receive from the very same studios, networks, and celebrities they give trophies to when the award season rolls around, and it's all undone under a, quote, code of silence. For publicists, listen to this, an entire financial incentive structure has grown around securing Globe nominations and wins. A redacted 2017 contract for an award show consultant, reviewed by The Times, who wrote this story, detailed what a source said was a typical pay scale for a Studio Globes campaign. What? In addition to the consultant's $45,000 fee, they would receive a $20,000 bonus if the movie got a Golden Globe nomination and a $30,000 bonus if the movie won. A related LA Times story put a spotlight on the lack of black members in the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Because if you remember, this year, there was none of the black-led films were nominated. No Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, no To Five Bloods, no One Night in Miami, none of that stuff. So out of the 87 members in the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, 0 of them are black.
Really?
Okay.
This sounds like a big racket.
Right? 0 of them are black. Yeah. So what they're saying is that studios and publicists and everybody set up these. They were talking, I think it was Amazon, where Amazon said that they had something like 7 people on staff only to deal with the Hollywood Foreign Press Association to secure nominations.
Wow.
So when you have none,
That's somebody's full-time job.
7 people's full-time job for one studio to just deal with the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. So when you start getting into this, 87 members, none are black, all of this other stuff. Some guy got busted. One of the Hollywood Foreign Press members got busted trying to sell his own tickets to the show for $40,000.
No.
Yes. And then he was like, no. I gave one to my friend. He tried to sell it. Yeah, okay,
Yo.
buddy. Right. But I'm telling you, this is the Golden Globes. It's and nobody, I've never questioned before because everybody just gets up there and says.
They've just been there, too.
It's just
forever.
Been there.
So
Yeah.
you figure, like, they got it figured out and, like, everything is legit.
Yes.
Really, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's really wild. But people hire, there's publicists that are specifically hired to finesse the reporters that are part of the Hollywood Foreign Press. And if you finesse them enough to get a nomination, you get a $20,000 bonus. And if you get a win out of them, you get a $30,000 bonus. Like it's a whole racket. It's a whole racket. Yeah.
Yeah. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
It's very rare that we get cool stuff that Americans don't get. It's always the other way around. HBO Max, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But with Disney Plus Star, everybody up here is losing their minds.
Oh,
and
what do we
everybody in the U.S. is super pissed off about it.
Why?
Well, because they don't have it. right?
Oh, they don't?
No.
Seriously?
No. It's two separate things. Disney Plus Star is in like all these international countries, but not in the U.S.
Oh, here it is on my app.
the package.
Look at that. As soon as I open the app, it's the first thing that pops up.
They have half the stuff that they have half the stuff that on Hulu that we're gonna get.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? So they have to subscribe to two separate things in order to get it.
Right.
Where if you have Disney Plus Star now,
oh wow,
yeah, dude, I'm telling you, the screenshots are incredible. Because there's a lot of stuff that disappeared from streaming services a while ago that you've just forgot about. Like people are real excited that Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet and Moulin Rouge are both on Disney Plus Star.
And movies that we've not been able to see since they came out, like Love Victor's, finally in Canada.
Yeah. All the Die Hards are on there. The Martian, which how much do I want to watch that after all the Mars stuff? Do you remember The Martian with Matt Damon?
Matt Damon.
Yeah, that was great.
God,
I like
that
that.
movie's so good.
Yeah.
All the Family Guy, everybody's freaking out over because they're all on there now.
Okay.
Deadpool finally.
Deadpool was. Oh yeah, Deadpool wasn't anywhere.
No.
Oh wow, interesting.
No. Con Air. I might watch that this weekend.
Who was in Con Air again? Nick Cage,
hello,
right?
Nick Cage. Yeah, it's the airplane where they traffic convicts back and forth.
Was Sean Connery in that one too?
Wasn't he?
No. John Malkovich.
Oh right, yeah.
It's Nick Cage with long hair.
Yeah.
John Malkovich with I believe no hair, and and what's that guy's name? John Cusack with his regular hair.
I forgot Cusack was in that movie.
Yes. Yeah, I believe that's the.
Yo, I'm just
that's the
going
main
through.
cast.
Is my favorite movie on there Money Train?
Is that on there?
Here, let me check.
I don't know.
Money.
Are you just shouting at stuff now that you don't know if it's even on there?
Well, yeah. How am I supposed to know?
Well, no.
Train.
You
If
search
I know,
that.
I'm not going through.
I'm going through talking about stuff that they actually have.
Well, I'm asking.
I'm
if
not going to
it's
start
there.
searching for you.
Nothing.
No, I have
It's
no
not there.
idea.
No, it's not there. That's crazy though.
Devil
I'm
Wears
excited.
Prada.
Oh, and see, now we're talking.
500 Days of Summer, which is really great. I like
Yeah.
that movie a lot.
Which one? Devil Wears Prada?
No, 500 Days of Summer.
Oh, have you seen Devil Wears Prada?
Yep. Yeah, I didn't mind Devil Wears Prada. That
Oh,
was
my
okay.
favorite movie line ever is in that movie.
Which is?
Gird your loins.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but he says that.
Oh.
Stanley Tucci says that when Miranda Priestley's showing up to the office.
The Proposal's on there.
That's with Betty White.
I saw.
Yes, it is with Betty White. It's also with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds, but also Betty White.
I saw Pretty Woman is on there.
Is it?
Yep.
Big
That's
mistake.
with Jason Alexander.
Big mistake. Huge. So we rarely get cool things up here that they don't get in the United States. And today's one of those days where we get the cool thing and they don't. All the Futurama are on there.
Nice.
Finally, because it disappeared a very long time ago, because Netflix is very much all Adam Sandler all the time.
Yeah.
But there's one movie that used to be on Netflix and then it disappeared from Netflix. And now it's on Disney Plus Star, which is The Waterboy.
Oh, yo, that's a classic.
Because that movie doesn't exist anywhere on streaming
totally forgot
anymore,
about
right?
that.
Yeah, so The Waterboy's on there. All the Desperate Housewives are on there. So we finally get something cool that they don't.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Getting hyped for the all the stuff that Disney Plus is releasing with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We got 2 more weeks of WandaVision.
That's it, huh?
Yep, 2 episodes to go. And then after that, we get Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Right. Which I'm also very excited about.
And then after that, I think... Do we get Black Widow this year?
Well,
can't remember.
that's a theatrical release, right? So who knows? Who knows?
And then June 11th, we get the premiere of the Loki, Tom Hiddleston Disney Plus show.
Right.
And you know they're not doing like a full 8 episode or 12 episode run.
For Loki?
Yeah.
Well, what is it? I don't know.
They're doing 6 episodes.
6? Yeah.
And they've already signed on to do, they split the season, I guess. They're I guess the second one, they're calling it season 2, but they've signed on for season 2, but they've only done or are releasing 6 episodes of the Loki one.
Just to answer your question, Black Widow is May 7th.
May 7th?
That's
In theaters, right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, right.
So I wonder if
that when I
all
see
of
it.
this is going to be part of the same kind of timeline, or if they're all going to be intertwined in some way.
Don't know. The problem with the problem that they have now with timeline is, and it was interesting yesterday when they released the official title of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which is Spider-Man
No Way Home.
No Way Home. They made it very clear in the announcement that it was only in theaters. So this will not be one that they have to be put in a position to stream it. So when you're dealing with things that timeline, whether it be any of these shows, you have now these shows on Disney Plus that are going to be rolling out, but you also have theatrical releases of movies. And if there's any sort of crossover within the timeline where you really should be watching one before you watch the other, that screws them up big time.
Well, I guess it just forces you to want to make sure, like as a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, to watch like everything.
No,
right?
no, I don't mean it screws up fans. It screws up Disney.
Well, I guess it would then too, right?
Because if you have something that that needs to be a theatrical release that ties into the timeline of one of your shows on Disney Plus, you can release something on Disney Plus at any point. But if you can't release, if they get screwed with Spider-Man and they have something ready to go on Disney Plus that you need to watch after Spider-Man, their whole timeline is screwed up.
What if they gave me the option to rent? If I'm already a subscriber of Disney Plus, which I am,
right?
If they gave me an option to rent the movie, let's say we're going with timeline order, right? Or movie order that they want all of us to watch. If they gave me the option to rent for a 48-hour period, Black Widow, and then maybe in December, rent the new Spider-Man movie, I would fully be down for that.
No, but this is the thing, though, is that's not like they made it so specific in their announcement. It was Spider-Man No Way Home only in theaters, meaning this is not going to wind up on Disney Plus.
Well, I'm not going to theaters.
I know, this is what I'm saying.
I'm sorry, guys.
Right? I mean, maybe in America, I know they're open theaters in New York soon, but when's we could be like summer 2022 up here, right?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Right?
Yeah, I wait.
Yeah. So I'm saying it really could screw up if everything is timeline sensitive and crossovers between Disney Plus and what they plan to release in theaters. It could really, really screw them up.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I'm on this Facebook group page.
Yeah.
Called People Who Kind of Look Like Adam Sandler but Aren't Adam Sandler.
What?
There is a shocking number of people who kind of look like Adam Sandler,
Really?
but who aren't Adam Sandler. Like Big John McCarthy, the UFC referee's on there.
Oh, yeah, I guess. I never thought of that, you know?
There's an old picture of Bob Dylan where, I mean, I've seen pictures of Bob Dylan forever, and this one picture of Bob Dylan just happens to look exactly like Adam
these,
Sandler.
Like, people
but
are,
it's not
are
Adam
submitting
Sandler.
famous?
No, it's all regular people. And the amount of regular people in this world that kind of look like Adam Sandler but are not Adam Sandler, but who also choose to live their life with the same Adam Sandler haircut.
Oh, really?
Like it's not.
Is it because they recognize that they look like Adam Sandler?
That's,
they
what, that's what I'm saying. So if you kind of look like somebody, would you go out of your way to lean into that, or would you sort of shy away from that? Like if somebody told you that you looked like somebody and then they had like a distinct haircut that they've had forever.
No, because I would never want to be.
1000%.
I would never want to be mistaken for that person.
No.
I would love to be. I get mistaken for two people.
Who?
Mocha, go ahead.
One time, Maury got mistaken for Rick Moranis.
No, I get Rick Moranis all the time and
Yeah.
Seth Green all the time.
Seth Green.
Yeah.
Who's Seth Green?
The star of Idle Hands, and he voices characters on Family Guy.
He was also Dr. Evil's kid.
Oh,
in
why
Austin
didn't you
Powers.
say Dr. Evil's kid? Oh, because I left him in Idle Hands.
Scott Evil.
Okay. Maury, when somebody asks you.
Like, come on, man.
Also this, okay? When somebody asks you who somebody is, right? When you say, hey, this person, and they go, who's that person? And they're trying to visualize who that person is. Don't tell me something that they voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Maury,
he voices Chris on Family Guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not going to do that. Look at this, Maury. Come here. Look at this. Just stand right there and look at some of these pictures. Look at that.
God.
That's not Adam Sandler.
So what is
Right?
it though?
That's not Adam Sandler.
that's Adam
No, it's not. That's not Adam Sandler.
Sandler.
That's not Adam Sandler.
That is Adam Sandler.
I know, man. Look at that's not Adam Sandler.
But what is it?
That's Adam Sandler right there.
Yeah, look at that. That's not Adam Sandler.
What facial features?
Is
it like a combination of different things?
It's what you see a lot of them have is they have the outside corners of his eyes sort of slope down like a little bit, like from the eyebrows kind of thing. So he's got like sleepy eyes.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of them they have a goatee. They have every single one of them has the Adam Sandler short haircut.
Okay. And the three wrinkles
nose.
in the forehead.
Yeah, the 3 wrinkles in the forehead and the nose. Like it's so incredible to me.
Does anyone have the Adam Sandler, I guess, the smile?
Yeah, look at this guy, Maury. Look at this guy. Do he have the smile? Look at that guy. That's Adam Sandler, but it's not Adam Sandler.
There's a whole Facebook group to this.
I'm telling you, it's called people who kind of look like Adam Sandler but aren't Adam Sandler.
How many people in the group? Can you see?
No, I don't know how to do. I don't know how to do this, man. Now you're asking me to do things I don't know how to do.
Oh, God,
I don't know, like 4,000. Right there. Yeah, 4,000 people. Right, it's a big community.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is...
Got a problem you can't fix.
Roz and Mocha got you.
Hi, Ellie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show.
Thank you. So excited.
What's on your mind?
Help. I need to get motivated to work out again.
Oh, this is a tough one. We need some help with people texting because I may not be the best person to talk to. Mocha, on the other hand. You wrote us this. What's the best advice to get motivated to start working out? You said that at the start of COVID, you were working out like a lot of people were at home with one of the apps, and then it just started to get boring. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
And you've not been able to get back into it. You also have 3 kids. That may be a contributing factor. I'm going to say yes, that is a very high percentage that may be a contributing factor. So what are your goals?
Really, I just like the way I felt when I was working out.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
Are you just not feeling that way anymore?
No, I'm starting to get like back pain again and gets aches and pains.
Same, girl, same.
So at the start of the pandemic, when you were working out frequently, what was different about other than COVID, all right? Other than the lockdown and everything, what was different about your life in your home situation where you were able to get those minutes to work out versus right now? Because now and back then, we were all still at home. You were still at home with your kids.
Yeah. School was a big thing. The schooling was a little bit different in terms of like how involved it was because everybody was still new with the whole online school.
Yeah.
So I had extra time. We didn't have to log in as much. And I also won the free app, like a free membership. So that was also...
My advice, and I don't have a lot of advice on working out. Mocha can talk to you about that. But my advice for getting motivated, and I think that it'll work with either working out, but it's the same thing I would say to somebody who is stuck in a rut creatively or at their job or whatever it is. And that is the single greatest motivator is the sense of accomplishment. And I think it's a matter of just knocking something off your list. Like if you were standing in the kitchen and, I don't know, your kid's in the bath or whatever it is, and you have literally 3 minutes. If you're standing in the kitchen, you could be wearing a robe and slippers. Just say to yourself, if I drop down on the floor right now, can I do 15 push-ups? And then just do it. And it's and the sense of accomplishment is going to wind up being your biggest motivator. And I think that's the best place to start. I think you're sitting there going, God, there's so much to do when it comes to working out and exercising that you're actually not getting anything done. I think you need to. I think you need to start proving to yourself that you can, 1, make a little bit of time for it, and 2, actually compete or complete whatever task you've set out for yourself to do. And they don't have to be huge. You just have to start knocking stuff off your list.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds...
Are you at home, like, with the kids by yourself, or are you married? You got a boyfriend? Do you have help around the house? Yeah, okay.
I'm married, yeah.
So,
but my husband, his schedule is kind of all over the place, so it's usually just me and the 3 kids.
Oh, okay. Do you know, like, what his schedule is for the most part, though? Like, ahead of time?
No.
Oh, it changes every day. So
yeah, he's in contracting and volunteer firefighter.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Okay, so busy guy. So what if it's like a conversation with him where you say to him, like, listen, you have your goal. Let's say you want to get in like 3 workouts a week, right? Or let's just say you want to take it easy and start out with 2 workouts a week. And if you say to him, listen, I need 20 minutes to myself, or I need 15 minutes to myself. Here's what I want to do. Can you manage the kids for me? And then that
Right.
way you can lock yourself up in the basement or the room, wherever it is that you're doing your workouts. And as Roz said, start knocking things off your list. If your goal is 2 days a week to do 20 minutes of cardio or 20 minutes of something, and you mentioned like, the free apps, right? Or the apps that give free workouts until you have to pay for it. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of workouts that you can watch just on YouTube. And you could cycle through so many of those, and you don't have to pay for any of them. It's just a matter of doing some research. But what I think is you need to write down what your goals are for the next little while, whether it's working out twice a week, whether it's working out 3 times a week, or if your goal is to work out every single day and work up to that.
Okay.
Do you have stairs in your house?
We do, yeah.
You do. How many times a day are you walking up and down those stairs?
Quite a few.
Quite a few. I'm gonna suggest something for you. Okay, I think that you should start off with bursts, and just to get your heart rate up to sort of put get all the chemicals flowing and everything else, and give you that hit that you need. And for every time you walk up those stairs, try this for me. Don't walk up those stairs. Every single time you're going to go walk up those stairs, you're going to run up, you're going to walk back down, then you're going to run up again. It's going to take you the exact same amount of time as walking up once, but only you're going to get that hit. You're going to get your heart rate going.
Okay.
Start with that. Don't just look at stairs completely differently now in your world. Every time you have to walk up that flight of stairs in your house, run up, walk back down, and then run back up again.
That sounds doable. Yeah.
It's just a matter of getting into it. And to be honest with you, because I went through the exact same thing where was working out like crazy, then COVID hit and everything completely stopped. And then I started again. And once you start, that day one and that feeling after day one, it's going to change you. You're going to be like, yes, now I remember why I loved exercising. Now I remember how this made me feel. And it's going to motivate you to want to do it the very next day and the day after that and the day after that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, you're going to love it. You're going to kill it, Ellie. I know. I promise you, day one, you're going to do like a 20-minute workout or a 15-minute workout, whatever, and something in your mind is going to click, and you're going to be like, yes, I got this.
Okay, sounds good.
Get those gains.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
On Kiss.
I love this part of the podcast.
Oh, hell yeah.
News time. Hey, Mocha.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Of course.
Are you ready? Let's do the news.
A Roz and Mocha Show and Kiss 92.5 News Break.
Vanessa Bryant is slamming Meek Mill's insensitive reference to Kobe Bryant. So there was a song that was leaked called Don't Worry by Meek Mill, and a lot of fans were hating on it as it was circulating online. In the lyrics, is it bleeped? Is this bleeped?
Yeah, this part, there's no swear words.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and if I ever lack, I'm going out with my chopper, it'd be another Kobe.
It's super quick.
Yeah. If I ever lack, I'm going out with my chopper. Will be another Kobe. And so Vanessa wrote, "Dear Meek Mills, I find this line to be extremely insensitive and disrespectful. Period. I'm not familiar with any of your music, but I believe you can do better than this. If you are a fan, fine. There's a better way to show your admiration for my husband. This lacks respect and tact."
Yeah. I didn't think that the line, I understand what he's trying to say. I didn't think that the line was cool.
No.
At all.
No.
Come on, Meek. You should know better.
Right. Should he, though?
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I started watching Wheel of Fortune on Netflix. Roxy found it.
On Netflix?
Yeah, she discovered it. So we've been watching a lot of Wheel of Fortune on Netflix.
You have the whole show there?
No, it's weird. They have a lot of seasons, but they don't have it. It's not like you can go back and start from the beginning.
Oh.
But I have to get into this sort of Wheel of Fortune headspace because Wheel of Fortune clues sort of go against all other quiz show clues that you can find, right? Like on Wheel of Fortune, the one that pissed me off the other night was place, right? Place. And then when you start seeing the words pop up when it's place, you start thinking in terms of like Roman Colosseum.
Sure.
Or, I don't know.
Famous places around the world.
Like West Palm Beach.
Okay.
Like this kind of thing, right? But in Wheel of Fortune world, like when you start getting the letters, it starts to make less sense to you because they're super unfamiliar. So on something like Wheel of Fortune, the clue was place, but the answer was glimmering blue lakes.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
That's
Where
a dumb
technically,
answer.
yeah, that is a place.
Yeah, but it's not
But
a
it's
place.
not a place, right? Anyway, I don't know why I'm pissed off about Wheel of Fortune. Roxy puts it on every night. I get angry. Maury.
Well, this is the exact argument we had where famous person, and it was pianist.
Right.
That's not a person.
Pianist is a person.
Pianist is
But
a
I
person.
understand what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but when you start thinking about like a famous person, I'm not going to immediately know what that says. Pianist.
But that is still a person, though. What I'm saying is that I'm with you on this, where it's not a name of a person.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one clue on Wheel where that woman got it? And it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words.
Okay.
And she only had the L in the fourth word. One L in the fourth word, and it was, I've got a good feeling about this. And she got the clue with only the L in feeling.
What was
and
the answer?
and
Okay, wait,
I've
wait.
got a good feeling
Oh,
about
I thought
this.
she had a good
Oh,
feeling.
that's the answer.
The
I was gonna
answer
say
was,
that.
the answer was, I've got a good feeling about this. And the only letter she had was the L in feeling. Cheater, right?
She looked at his
Cheater.
notes.
I don't know why. I get so pissed off when I watch Wheel of Fortune. It's so
Yeah.
crazy, and I shouldn't.
No,
and
you
I
really
should.
shouldn't.
I also think that they need to get Patch Sajak longer sleeves, because if you ever watch Wheel of Fortune, all the man does.
No, because when he does the final spin, you can't have a longer sleeve because it'll get caught on the pegs.
Let me finish. What I'm saying is, all Pat Sajak does, okay, all he does is he reaches underneath his jacket and pulls his shirt lower.
Yeah.
That's, you know, so he wears a suit jacket. And, you know, people want that little tiny bit of shirt to come out of the bottom of the suit jacket. That's all he does during Wheel, is he tugs on his shirt to stick it out more, because his jackets are too long. Like, they either need to alter the man's jackets or they need to get the man longer shirts, because it's clearly not working for him, because
send
it's
him an
all
email,
he
man.
does is fidget with his shirts. Anyway, I'm over this.
It's a lot of negative energy towards
I know.
Wheel of Fortune.
I know.
Like old episodes still on Netflix.
I know. And I'm sure everybody went through this emotion with Wheel of Fortune years ago. I'm just going through it now because we've only now just discovered it.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Somebody pointed out something on Friends that will change the way that you watch Friends. And I had noticed this about Jennifer Aniston years ago while interviewing her. But she does it on Friends. And so somebody brought this up. It was sort of like a weird tick, like almost a quirk that Jennifer Aniston has. So let me play this clip from a guy on TikTok.
What I'm about to say is going to ruin your life. It is going to ruin your life. Especially if you are a big fan of the show Friends. If you are a big fan of that show, I'm begging you, scroll away, because I'm going to ruin your life. Jennifer Aniston has this sort of vocal tick that she does at the beginning of every single sentence that she starts.
So it's almost like a throat clear. And so this is a montage of Rachel from Friends.
Are you sure you want to hear this?
Oh, what did he say? Well, lately I've
Oh, yeah.
Me.
Yeah, she goes, so anyway,
That's,
and she does that in
gonna
everything. She,
notice that
she
now.
does that in everything. Everything.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Are you interested in listening to a podcast hosted by Barack Obama and Bruce
Yes.
Springsteen?
No.
No?
Wait, what?
Yeah, they're doing a podcast together.
Together?
Yeah, together.
Like a one-off?
Yeah.
Or multiple episodes?
No, it's called Renegades, Born in the USA, and they'll discuss topics including race, fatherhood, marriage, and the state of America. The show is on Spotify, and the first 2 episodes are available now. Here's a clip.
Wait a minute. Hold
Yes.
on. How would their two worlds ever collide? Like, do they know each other?
I mean, he's an American icon, Bruce Springsteen. And I guess he's spent his life, fighting for the little guy. That's sort of Bruce Springsteen's, that's his brand, right?
And number 44, I mean, he's just
He's
the
the
GOAT.
president, yeah.
right?
On the surface, Bruce and I don't have a lot in common. He's a white guy from a small town in Jersey. I'm a black guy of mixed race, born in Hawaii. He's a rock and roll icon. I'm not as cool.
I was trying to remember the first time we actually met. Probably was in 2008 during the campaign. You came, was it in Michigan or Ohio?
I have no recall.
In our own ways, Bruce and I have been on parallel journeys, looking for a way to connect our own individual searches for meaning, truth, and community with the larger story of America. And over the course of a few days, all just a few miles from where he grew up, we talked.
I'll tell you why you know that Bruce Springsteen has lived a life, right? This is why you know the man has seen just about everything there is to be seen. How many people in this world that have met Barack Obama don't remember meeting Barack Obama for the first time or where they met him?
Oh, probably.
0 people. Bruce Springsteen may be the only one. Yeah, I don't know where I met you the first time. I don't know. I don't recall.
I'm interested in that
so am
podcast,
I.
though.
Yeah.
I'll listen to it.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Tom Holland is doing interviews right now, and all anybody wants to talk to Tom Holland about are all the rumors for Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
And he was on Fallon last night, but earlier in the day, on his own Instagram, he put up a picture of what the new name of the Spider-Man movie is.
Oh, he did?
Which was Tom Holland posted Spider-Man Phone Home.
That's not it.
Okay. And then in a separate post, Jacob Batalon, who's his co-star in the movie,
Yeah.
posted Spider-Man Homewrecker. And then
What?
Zendaya posted
I hate these people. Come on.
Spider-Man Home Slice. So they each yesterday released 3 different titles for
Come on
the
now.
movie.
So
Now people
Phone
are digging into this, saying that each one of those represents Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland, the 3 different Spider-Mans in the movies.
So
Pizza Delivery, Homewrecker, and Phone Home, because Tom Holland was always calling Happy and everything else. Anyway, it's a whole thing. So I'm not sure if any of those are.
You guys, just tell us the name.
Okay, not sure if any of those are true.
emotions.
But we know that the rumors are that Doctor Strange is going to sort of take on that fatherly role left by Tony Stark. And the rumors, of course, are Jamie Foxx is going to be Electro, Alfred Molina, Doc Ock, and then, of course, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. So last night on Fallon tries to get this information out of Tom Holland.
I know that you're in Atlanta shooting the new Spider-Man movie, and I know you can't say much about it, but there are a lot of rumors out there. Some people are saying that Jamie Foxx might be coming back as Electro. No reaction. There's also a fan theory that your Spider-Man predecessors, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, might be making a cameo in this movie. You can't confirm or deny.
It would be amazing if they were, because they haven't told me that yet, and I am Spider-Man, and I've read the script from beginning to the end. So it would be a miracle if they could have kept that from me. Yeah. But at the moment, there is no cameo from the 2 boys.
But they do keep things from you, though, don't they?
Yeah, and it actually is getting to the point where it's really frustrating.
Yeah.
Because I feel like now I've progressed. I'm a trustworthy member of the Avengers, and I haven't really ever spoiled anything. Well, there's a few things, but like no big things.
You actually
we'll
have.
leave it at that.
So Tom Holland's notorious for spoiling. There's like 8-minute montages on YouTube that you can go watch of Tom Holland spoiling things from the Marvel films, and then not even realizing he's doing it while everybody around him. There's one where he walked into a theater to introduce Infinity War, and like fans, like nobody had seen Infinity War at this point.
Yeah.
And Tom Holland walked into the theater thinking that he was walking in after Infinity War and it was going to be a Q&A.
Oh,
and he
no.
walked on stage and goes, "Don't worry, everybody, I'm alive. I'm alive."
Oh, you idiot.
And everybody was like, "Well, what does that mean?" And like the whole place goes silent, right? And like he has
And
spoiled.
you also have to remember, he's a kid. He's just a dumb kid, right?
He is spoiled. So there's the montages are hysterical. He spoiled that there was a Spider-Man 2. He spoiled that there was a Spider-Man 3. He spoiled that Spider-Man was in space. He spoiled everything, right? God. He's talked about cast members being like, "Oh my God, I was so afraid of you," and then the cast member looks at him and goes, "Well, why would you be afraid of me?" And he's like, "Well, of course I was. I'm not spoiling anything, but like I was afraid of you."
Remember that big scene when we were fighting and arguing?
So anyway, is it Spider-Man Phone Home, Spider-Man Home Wrecker, or Spider-Man Home Slice? Who the hell knows?
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Pat Sajak is facing backlash for mocking a contestant's lisp on Wheel of Fortune. So listen to this exchange between Pat and a contestant named Chris Brimble.
Hello, Chris.
Hello, Pat.
Tech sales, huh?
Yeah, I work for a technology company. We sell technology that benefits older adults living in senior living communities.
Yeah, that's a tough thing, too, because technology and sometimes people are not open to new
You'd be
ideas.
surprised how open they are.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. So that's just a myth.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is.
I see. You were married?
Oof.
What did he say? Where was he?
He goes, "I thee."
Oh, that was him.
That was Pat that
was
said
Pat.
that.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
He goes, "That was just a myth," which he tried to get him to lisp. And then he said, "Yeah." And then he goes, "I thee."
Oh, okay.
So he's facing backlash for that. But it's interesting when you go on Pat's own Twitter because he doesn't tweet a lot. But like some of the stuff he tweets, make kindness a habit. There's no better way to lift your spirits than by lifting the spirits of others. Have a peaceful, restful night. These are all just separate tweets. Nothing is more exhausting than anger. Nothing is more relaxing than love. It takes so little effort to be polite, thoughtful, and kind.
Oh, damn.
The real test of manners is facing bad ones with good ones.
Oh,
like when you start going through, and this is all he tweets, are these like little affirmations, right? Forgiveness often removes a bigger burden from the one who forgives than the one who is forgiven. Lashing out rarely changes the hearts of others, but it most certainly poisons your own. Like this is his, like he's very much the throw positivity out into the world.
He's making fun of this man's
as
lisp.
He's making fun of this man's lisp.
Come on, Pat.
Right? So he hasn't said anything about that, but a lot of people are like, and you know what the world is like now? It's
Of
like
course.
now it's like, fire Pat Sajak.
Yeah.
Right? There's no
They're not gonna fire
there's
that guy.
there's no middle ground,
Uh-huh.
right? It goes from, legend to fire Pat Sajak.
Yeah.
Like there's no sort of middle ground to that.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So no Raptors on the All-Star roster, huh?
Oh,
Is that the
so
deal?
disappointing.
Yeah. That's the first time in a long time that's happened.
Yeah. We've had somebody on the team or in the roster for since 2014.
Since
Yeah.
2014.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
That's a wow. That's a
Nick
good
Nurse
run.
coached the team 2 years ago.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not a fan of the All-Star game this year anyway, so
I agree.
for
I don't
me,
think-
I'm happy.
I don't think it should be happening. A lot of the basketball players don't even think it should be happening.
Take the weekend off. That's what I say. But everybody's shocked. The big name, of course, that Fred VanVleet was left off the All-Star roster, and this is Fred VanVleet.
It is what it is. Obviously, I'm a human. I'll be disappointed. I really, as much as it doesn't matter, it does matter, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not gonna lie and say, I don't care. Obviously, I care. It's something that I want to be a part of someday. But I think just having a proper perspective on it and understanding that I'm not going anywhere. It's not going to be my last year being up for All-Star. I think I was very close, and all the guys that made it were very deserving, and that's the case every year. So, I'll keep getting better and give myself a better case next year and go from there. But I don't play for that. I try to play the game the right way, and also it's too much real going on in the world for me to be crying about making an All-Star game.
There you go.
And coming off that Raptors loss last night to Philly, we play Miami at 8 o'clock tonight.
Did you see what Barclays Center looked like last night?
No.
With fans?
Weird.
Yeah.
Very weird, right?
Yeah.
People will, are they in
All distance out.
grouped out, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
But somebody posted a picture saying this is what a sold out Barclays Center looks like. And it's, but hey, they got fans. They got fans, man.
And fans want to be there, right?
Yeah. Fans want to be there. I'm gonna go to Florida soon, man. I'm telling you. Just to,
Are you?
Yeah. Just
Are you
to
going to
have
go for WrestleMania?
No, I just want. I just want a week pretending that none of this exists, like everybody else in Florida does. They seem pretty happy down there. I'll tell you. See a lot of videos from people in Florida.
It's kicking it, having a good time.
They are having a great time.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Mariah Carey interviewed Cardi B.
For what?
Yeah, exactly. they set it up and they go through a lot of stuff. First of all, Cardi B was freaking out because she was actually talking to Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
But Cardi B gets into a lot of really deep stuff, talking about motherhood, her schedule, all of this stuff. But she talks about her cosmetic surgery, and she's brought this up before, and how where she grew up in New York, her hair was always an issue, and always questions of why it's so crunchy and you don't have Dominican hair and all of this stuff. And then she goes on to say that she was always taunted for her, quote, really skinny figure in her neighborhood, where thick women and curvy women were praised. Quote, young boys would be like, look at that flat ass, you have no boobs, and it would make her feel ugly and underdeveloped, she said. So when she started dancing at 18, she earned enough money, she was finally able to, quote, afford to buy boobs, so every insecurity that I felt about my breasts was gone. And then she went on to elaborate, saying, when I was 20, I went into the urban strip clubs, and in the urban strip clubs, you have to have a big butt, so I felt insecure about that, and it took me back to my high school days, so I got my ass done.
Wow.
Then I felt super confident.
Wow.
But Cardi B, she's talked about this stuff before, but she's
never been like this.
She holds nothing back.
Yeah.
It's interesting how it's almost refreshing, regardless of how you feel about cosmetic surgery and all that other stuff. I'm not going to get into that, but it's just refreshing to hear somebody with no filter, because people are so careful, and Cardi B's not.
Oh, she don't care
in any way careful.
I love Cardi B.
At all about anything.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
LA Sheriff's Department calls the Tiger Woods crash purely an accident. Sheriff Alex Villanova said that he was not drunk. We can throw that one out, quote unquote. Deputy Carlos Gonzalez was the first to arrive at the crash site, and he patrols that area frequently, where he has caught people doing 129 kilometers an hour in a 70 zone. And he says that those trappings are common, so people speed through this area.
But we don't know how fast Tiger Woods is going.
Justin King, who's a personal injury attorney in California, said that if investigators prove that the road is unsafe and contributed to Tiger's crash and others, because he was not the first person to go out on that corner, the municipality that controls it should be held liable. However, the Sheriff's Department said that the investigation may seek search warrants for blood samples to definitively rule out drugs or alcohol in Tiger's system. Detectives could also apply for search warrants for Tiger's cell phone to see if he was driving while distracted, as well as the vehicle's event data recorder, which is the equivalent of like a black box, to determine exactly how fast he was going when the crash occurred.
Oh, jeez.
So it was purely an accident, but what caused the accident is now, like, what was the contributing factors to the accident? Is it an unsafe road? Is it the fact that maybe he was distracted? Like, who is sort of responsible for the accident, even though really nobody's at fault?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's happening with Tiger Woods.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Yesterday in Toronto, Mayor John Tory had this to say.
To keep fighting the spread of COVID-19, the city is extending the cancellation of in-person, city-led and city-permitted outdoor major events from March 31st to July 1st, including in-person Canada Day parades, festivals, and events.
So everything, Toronto Marathon, Sporting Life 10K, Canadian Music Week, Doors Open Toronto, Juno Awards, Ride for Heart, North by Northeast, Luminato, the Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer, TD Jazz Festival, Indigenous Arts Festival, Toronto Independent Dragon Boat Race Festival, the Pride Parade, Scarborough and Canada Day celebrations, and the Canada Day celebrations at Mel Lastman Square, all canceled. Now, a lot of these are going to be virtual. Like Pride is going to be virtual this year. A lot of these events are going to be held virtually this year. But
That's
the
okay.
actual in-person portion
2022 is going to be our year,
it's
everybody.
It's going to be our year.
Don't you worry.
No.
We just got to get through this year, and then 2022, woo, baby.
This comes as the CNE said that their plan is to hold the whole thing open to the public, in-person event.
Really?
Yeah, so the CNE's planning on going ahead.
Yo,
I guess they're looking at their
end
calendar.
of August, beginning of September.
Yeah.
It's gonna be our 2 weeks, guys. It's gonna be our 2 weeks. I can't wait.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Adam Sandler and Chris McDonald, so Happy Gilmore and Shooter McGavin were on the Dan Patrick Show. And I don't know if you saw it for the anniversary of Happy Gilmore, Adam Sandler took his phone to the golf course and did the Happy Gilmore shot with the driver, and then Shooter McGavin, Chris McDonald was at home and he was putting in his living room, and they were just going back and forth at each other as Happy Gilmore and Shooter McGavin, and then everybody's like, "Oh my God, they need to do another movie."
Yeah.
Right? Everybody's like, we need this. Adam Sandler controls everything he does. Nobody owns it but him. Why not? And this came up on the Dan Patrick Show yesterday.
Has not been discussed, but it certainly has been discussed on the internet. Believe me, that senior tour idea, it would be so amazing.
I am double in. Yes, I would love to do it. Everybody's been screaming for it. Like Adam said, it would be a complete blast. The senior tour with us too. Oh my God.
Right?
Wow.
So Happy Gilmore, the senior tour.
I'm down.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Right?
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Question for you.
Yes.
What is the value of household chores?
The value?
Meaning like washing dishes and vacuuming. I say this because there was a landmark ruling in China that has triggered massive debate by putting a dollar figure on what somebody can receive in a divorce settlement. Now, they put the dollar figure as $4 a day. So in Beijing divorce court, a judge ruled this month that a woman was eligible to receive the equivalent of $7,700 U.S. for, quote, household labor following a split from her husband. Chinese state media names a woman as Mrs. Wang and said that she married her husband in 2015, then separated, then divorced 5 years later. So this is a first of its kind ruling where she was granted compensation for domestic work under a new civil code, which came into effect in January.
But $7,000? And they, like, for over, what, the
5
course
years.
of 6 years or 5 years?
5 years, yeah. Yeah.
That's...
So, dude, for this to happen at all
I agree.
is
But $7 is very, in my opinion...
$7,000, yeah.
Is
$4
very-
a day. $4
is
a day.
very low.
Right.
Extra, like, almost insulting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess then you just have to go in and fight for more. But the fact that this even happened,
I agree. Yeah, for sure.
So they say, quote, where one spouse is burdened with additional duties for raising children, cooking, looking after the elderly, or assisting the other spouse in his or her work, the said spouse has the right to request compensation upon divorce against the other party. This is according to the new Article 1088 of their civil code. So upon divorce, you can now go through and say the majority of things that happened in that house were my responsibility, and we can now put a dollar figure on that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In addition to whatever settlement and alimony and child support and everything else we decide to come up with. Now they have to determine what the dollar figure is for the amount of housework that you've done, which is an incredible
have to start
ruling.
doing more work. Matthew does everything.
You're screwed, Maury. You're screwed. You've
That's
done
too much
nothing.
of a low ball.
You think
in my
so, though,
opinion,
huh? Yeah.
That's too much of a low ball money. If they had to put a dollar figure,
and this may change. This is the first ruling. Somebody else may come in and they may determine a higher value. I don't know, and I don't know what the sort of math is to determine that. Whether it's hours worked or square footage of a house or what your responsibilities
probably a combination
were.
of everything.
Probably
right?
a combination. Yeah, no, you're right. But yeah. So she was awarded $7,700 for, quote, household labor after a divorce.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So you know me, I'm a huge fan of pettiness. I love pettiness.
Yeah, probably the biggest fan I know.
The fantasy theme park in Utah called Evermore. We know that they sued Taylor Swift for trademark infringement over the use of Evermore for her album.
Right.
Now, just a couple of weeks later, the company that handles the rights for Taylor Swift's music and her trademarks has filed a countersuit against Evermore in Utah.
To say what?
In the new legal filing, Taylor Swift's management claims that Evermore now routinely plays Taylor Swift's music on its grounds without authorization or licensing agreement.
Oh, no.
They say Evermore Park was regularly engaged in copyright infringement, which includes playing Love Story, You Belong With Me, and Bad Blood during performances without proper licensing. It also accuses Evermore of repeatedly ignoring messages regarding the legal matter and instead continued to, quote, benefit from the free and unauthorized public performance of the songs, despite the actual knowledge of the liability and substantial penalties imposed by the Copyright Acts that protects artists. Earlier this month, the park's CEO claimed that Taylor's use of Evermore caused, quote, actual confusion that affected the theme park's online presence and infringed on the park's merchandising designs. Now, I know when I say Evermore theme park, when you say theme park, you imagine a place that has rides, right? This
Yeah.
is not that kind of theme park. Like Evermore theme park is a LARPing park.
Oh, awesome.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's there's no like there's the attractions.
There's no like rides or anything like that.
No, the attractions are actors who portray fantasy characters. And then people can go to the park and interact with them and ask them about their made up histories, and then they create these fantasy worlds. Like it's LARPing, right? Like it's
Y'all should have just kept your mouth shut.
it's Dungeons and Dragons. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not goofing on D&D, but it's that type of thing. It's like it's people in big giant costumes with fur capes and swords and witchcraft and all this kind of stuff, where you get to then go and interact with these LARPers.
Should have kept your mouth shut. And guess what? Oh, man. I'm just getting burned now.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Toronto Raptors president Masai Ujiri calls for racial equality. So he was on Good Morning America yesterday with Robin Roberts, and he sat down exclusively. And this is the first interview, his first sort of sit down like this, following the courtside confrontation during the playoffs when body camera footage was eventually released, and he saw the footage like everybody else did, and you realize that the cop involved was just completely in the wrong.
Yeah.
And all charges have now been dropped, but Masai says that this has reignited his push for racial equality.
This is not just a legal fight, that you have a new fight. What is your new fight with this?
As much as we say, this happened to me, it's worse that it happened to other people, right? George Floyd, I lost a moment. People have lost their lives. I say it as humble as I can, maybe the privilege or the job that I have to fight this. They're wrongly accused. There's no body cams. Nobody sees what happens. And they are incarcerated, or they are accused, or they are charged. We have to fight for them.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
And the question now is with The Bachelor is, will Chris Harrison even ever return? We know he ceased that he was stepping away temporarily, but the question now is, because amid the ongoing racism controversy on that show, behind the scenes, they're trying to figure out what to do and what the, quote, appropriate changes to the franchise that need to happen. This is according to a source who talked to People magazine. They say, quote, a lot of work is being done behind the scenes to make changes and proper moves going forward with the franchise. The source also added this. There are talks happening regarding Chris Harrison and his future with the show.
Ooh.
So he may not come back after this.
I don't think he will.
You don't think so, huh?
Unless, I don't know, like, can he apologize and everyone be okay with it? Or is this one of those things where,
That is not a question I can answer.
like, it's done?
Yeah.
There's no coming back. He's gone forever.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Showtime. Did you watch Ray Donovan?
No.
No, Ray Donovan was one of those shows that I think that I watched it a little too long. Like, it started off and it was great, but then you realize that when you get to season 7, the show you're watching was just not the show that you originally fell in love with.
How
They
many
did
seasons?
seven seasons.
Wow.
And then they canceled it, and now the head of Showtime says when Ray Donovan went off the air after 7 good seasons, we heard from so many of its loyal fans that they were not ready to say goodbye to Ray and the wonderfully dysfunctional Donovan family, so they're doing a Ray Donovan movie.
Oh, wow.
Showtime's doing a one-off movie to sort of wrap things up.
If the demand is there, why not?
Liev Schreiber's going to co-write it, and John Voight will also return.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Reading this story about this young TikToker, this young woman named Lee Holland. And when it comes to COVID, there's so many things that nobody could have anticipated, right?
Yeah.
And somebody asked on TikTok, what's the worst tattoo you ever got? And her video is the one that basically won. Like, nobody else can even compete at this point. Everybody else is playing for second. So she got a tattoo of something that meant something to her, meant a lot to her. And it was based on a conversation that she had with a friend years ago. And then eventually she got around to getting the tattoo. She got this tattoo at the beginning of March last year.
Okay.
Right on her arm, right on the inside of her forearm.
Okay.
And the conversation that she was having with her friend was based around the fact that her friend thought that she was 100% herself all the time and never pretended to be something that she was not, which is a great conversation to have with a friend.
really nice, yeah.
It's amazing to know that in this life you have friends that feel that way about you. So at the beginning of March last year, she got his direct quote tattooed on her arm. And that quote is... And that quote is, courageously and radically refuse to wear a mask.
Oh my God. Yo, that's with you for life.
Because that's what her friend said. So now during COVID, anytime she walks in somewhere or anytime somebody sees her arm, they think that she is this hardcore anti-masker who hates masks so much that she got it tattooed on her arm.
And you can't even... Like, what are you going to do? Like, you can't
having that
alter.
no.
You're going to put, like, asterisks and then,
No.
or put in brackets?
But
like,
not
I'm
that kind of mask?
Yeah, like I'm not an anti-masker?
I mean a metaphorical mask, like I'm not a phony, you idiot. Like you have to, like you're writing like addendums to the whole thing down your entire arm.
Yeah, to use the other arm.
Yeah, so that is what she has on her arm for life. Now, based on one beautiful conversation that she had with somebody who loved her. Now she looks like a giant tool.
Sorry, you suck at life.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
It is official on Paramount Plus that Frasier's coming back.
Yeah.
Kelsey Grammer is confirmed to reprise his role as Dr. Frasier Crane, the Seattle radio host of a reboot for the long-running comedy. That thing won like so many Emmys, it's not even funny.
I didn't think that the appetite was still out there for Frasier.
I guess. I don't know. This series will be produced by CBS in association with Kelsey Grammer and I believe his production company. But yeah, so if anybody's been dying to know what happened to Frasier Crane, I don't know if Niles is coming back. I don't know if Daphne's coming back. The problem, we talked about this before, was the real heart of that show and what sort of kept that show grounded was Marty, Frasier's dad, right? And so he passed away in real life. So I don't know what they're going to do or who they're going to bring in to sort of fill that role.
Yeah, you need somebody grumpy in there, like somebody down to earth, real, who was like the complete opposite of what Frasier and his brother were.
Exactly.
Roz and Mocha Q&A.
All right, time for the part of the podcast where we answer your questions. Jason, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Good, good.
What is your question for the room?
So what would you say is proper snowblower etiquette? Immediate side neighbors across the street, anybody who sees you outside, and
yeah, go ahead.
And how early is too early to start with the snowblower?
Okay, this is a good question here.
So what do you mean etiquette?
Yes, okay, so here, let me help you out here. So snowblower etiquette, he's not talking about like blowing the snow onto your neighbor's lawn. He's talking about snowblower etiquette, meaning if on your street you are one of very few people that actually have a snowblower, your neighbors all use shovels. What's the proper etiquette when you're out doing your driveway with the snowblower? Do you do your direct neighbors' driveways as well? What about your neighbor across the street? Where does it end? If somebody sees you, do you then have to go and be obligated to go and do their driveway as well? So what's proper snowblower etiquette, right?
What's your answer, Jason? Because you've obviously given this a lot of thought.
Well, so I will do my immediate neighbors to my side, but then if the neighbor beside them sees me, I'll go help them out. But I don't know, like Rod said, where does it stop? So I know
the neighbors to the side, though, if you're helping them out, like, are they outside? Are you only going over if you see them outside shoveling and like maybe struggling, or regardless, you just go and take care of their property?
No, them, I'll just go do it for them.
Okay.
Yeah, but then if anybody else sees, you kind of get that eye from them, right? They're like, they put they stick that shovel in the snow, they put their hand on their lower back, and they go,
yeah,
right, yeah, and then
me next,
yeah, and then you're like, yeah, I'll be right over. Not that I have anything else to do or a life. I tend to agree with you, but I will say this. I used to live in a neighborhood years ago when I was growing up where there was literally one guy on the street that had a snowblower. and we were like 5 houses away or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
he didn't make it to our house all that often. But what he did do was he did his driveway, he did his neighbor to his left, his neighbor to his right. And the way that it worked was he did the entire sidewalk down to the stop sign in front of like 8 or 9 houses.
That's really nice.
Right?
That's super nice.
So he took care of the sidewalk for the whole strip of the road for like 12 houses, right?
Yeah.
10 houses, which took him a long time to do. And then he did his driveway and the other 2. So at least you didn't have to, because oftentimes what would wind up happening is that sidewalk is where if the snowplow went by, like you would just have nowhere to put the snow.
Sure.
And so he gave everybody a sort of running start to be able to do their driveways
That's really
by
nice.
taking care of the sidewalk. But yeah, I would say you're probably doing it right now. Don't get me wrong. Some guys, okay, are mental when it comes to the snowblower, and it's a new toy, and it's fun, and it gets them out of the house when the kids are there and everything. Like some guys just don't want to come in. They're like a dog in the snow. Like they'll just go and do driveway after driveway after driveway.
Yeah. Man, let me tell you something, Jason. I don't know if you're like me, but I absolutely love my snowblower.
Yes.
Yeah.
In my neighborhood now, I live on a corner lot. So on one side of my house, of my property, it's just road. So don't got to worry about that side. My actual neighbor to my left, they're an older couple. Or sorry, it's a woman who lives there with her elderly father. And they have a service, like they have landscapers, right? So they'll have a snowplow service and they'll come in and do the snow for them, right?
That's expensive too.
But the thing is, it's based on like whatever that day's schedule is. So if you get a big dumping overnight and in the morning there's, 10 centimeters of snow or whatever, there's a good chance that plow may not come until like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So there have been times where if I'm outside and I see the ladies out there and she's kind of struggling with the snow with a shovel, then I'll go over with my snowblower. Or I've even gone over with my shovel and helped her out.
Yeah.
In my old neighborhood, there was an old couple who lived 2 houses down. And the old guy, he was like in his 70s, he's like late 70s now. But he had his own snowblower, but on days where I knew there was like a ton of snow, and he loved being outside. He was one of those guys that would just spend all day outside, no matter what the weather. And he loved using a snowblower. But if it was a day where I knew it was really, really bad outside, I'd go and I'd help them out and do the driveway.
I'm with you on that. I like the snowblower, but I can only handle it up to a certain point.
Completely.
Like, just,
The guy,
just like everything else, because it pisses you off. Like I'm fine to do my own driveway, but I just think that there's a better engineered snow plow that people just haven't adopted yet in municipalities that will prevent a covering of the bottom of your driveway.
Yeah.
And I've seen videos where they've made them where it as you go by a driveway, one part of the arm comes down and it actually scoops and then dumps it in between the houses, right? Like it's a little bit of work for the driver, but when you've just plowed the driveway and then that truck goes by, I'm like,
the worst.
screw you.
I hate it.
Screw you.
Can I tell you what happened to
right?
us last week?
Yeah.
So we got a big dumping, and the following day was recycling day,
Yeah.
right? So I put all of my bins, laid them out nicely. I always leave them proper, perfect for when the recycling truck comes by. The snowplow goes by, clears the street, can clearly see my bins
Not
there.
cool. Not cool.
Clearly see
No.
all the bins on the
No.
street. And complete disregard for everything. So you now have an entire street that have bins knocked over and like buried in snow.
No.
Like there's no way that plow didn't see that happen.
No, I know.
Right?
I know. Maury, do you have a thought on this?
Yeah, just like honestly, I wouldn't help neighbors because then you owe them something.
No, they would owe you something.
They would owe me. No, just do your own thing so nobody owes nobody nothing.
But you want people to owe you things in life. Isn't that part of your...
No, I would feel... No, not for something like this. I would feel so guilty.
Feel guilty for what? Doing their driveway?
Yeah, no.
Why?
I wouldn't want...
But,
no, not
but
a
why
chance.
would you feel guilty if you did somebody's driveway?
Because then I would have to take something from them. I would feel that I would have to have them come and shovel my driveway.
But why does everything have to be a transaction?
Also, if I've learned
why
anything
can't you
from-
just do something nice?
Not when it comes to home ownership.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Damn.
If
You're
I've learned anything
mean.
from my husband, it's do not get to know your neighbors.
Wow. Jeez.
I will
man.
say this, Jason. The guy
Jeez.
in my old neighborhood, the guy that lived across the street from me, like if I saw him outside shoveling,
Yeah.
there have been times where I'd offer and he'd be like, no, I'm good. Like he enjoyed like shoveling the driveway. Now there have been times where he like took me up on the offer and I'd go over and I'd just quickly get the driveway done for him.
Yeah.
But there are some people
Yeah.
who just like enjoy shoveling. Like I don't mind shoveling. I love being outside.
Yeah.
Right? I don't mind shoveling. I
Yeah.
love when I have to use my snowblower.
Right.
Because it's loud and it just, blows snow everywhere. Your other question, Jason, was how early is it or how early is too early to use a
Yeah.
snowblower? I think
Yeah.
like every city that you live in, municipality or whatever, town, don't they have like regulated what time you're
Oh, I thought he meant like April, May, June.
No, time of day. Like
Like-
what time's too early?
Yeah. Isn't
Yes.
it like 7 a.m.? I think in my
7
neighborhood, I know
a.m..
it's 7.
That's too early. You're going to wake people
I
up.
think it's 7 or 8, something like that.
7 a.m. on a Wednesday is different than 7 a.m. on a Sunday, though.
Yeah.
And I think that's just sort of up to you as an individual to figure that out. I live like where the cottage is, right? My
Yeah.
neighbors are farmers.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh, so
And-
they're up early.
Oh my God. Like I wake up normally because they have like cannons going off to, I guess, like scare the birds off the crops in the fields. And like, so there's like gunshots that happen.
Oh, wow.
Like
Oh, I'd be calling
every
311.
every morning. And like I can start my lawnmower, and my lawnmowers are loud, right?
Yeah.
But if I could go out and start my lawnmower at like 8 a.m., you will never hear it because the tractor across the street is like 1,000 times louder than my lawnmower. So when you live around farms, it's awesome. I could go out and start mowing my lawn at 6 a.m. if
Yeah,
I
and
wanted
no
to.
one will say anything.
What if you
Nobody
wanted to
would
sleep in?
say anything. Sleep in? What do you mean?
Like, what if you wanted to sleep in? Like, I guess you can't really say anything to the neighbors. Like, shush.
No, it's like it's not that bad. Like it's the farm field is like it's far away, right? Like it's across the street, but it's like a country road. So the guy's field from my bedroom window is like realistically, we're talking like 800 feet.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Oh,
like
yeah,
like
you're good.
it's you're fine. But the thing that wakes you up is the turkeys, and because they come right up to the lawn and they just start crapping all over the place.
Jerks.
But that's really it, just the jerks. But yeah, no, it's interesting with blowing snow because I'm like Mocha. I love the snowblower, but I hate winter. So I got one in me a day, and I won't go back out and redo after the.
Can you
the
get a
plow
heated
comes.
driveway?
You can. You can.
That would solve everything.
It's very expensive, though, to get a heated driveway.
yeah.
You can buy pads, though, and I may do this next year. I was thinking about this because my driveway in the city is not that big, and you can buy these black pads that all plug into each other, and you can sort of make a configuration on your driveway. And I think that it raises the temperature. I think they said after a certain point or below a certain point, it raises the temperature 3 degrees. And oftentimes when you're around there, snow will melt regardless of how cold it is if you just raise the temperature 3 degrees from what the temperature outside is. And so you can buy these mats and put them on your stairs, and people, what they do is they will put them on their driveway on either side of where they would normally park. So when you get out of your car, you're not stepping in snow going up to the house.
Oh, that's
right?
smart.
So you sort of shovel in between them, and they're not that expensive.
Yeah.
I think they're like a couple $100 per pad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Now, Jason, did you ask about like early being too early because have you gotten into trouble or gotten into a disagreement with the neighbor over how early you've gone out?
No. It's just the last big snowfall we had, I work early, so I start at 6.
Yeah.
So I was out there cleaning everything up, and it's like, do I really want to shovel this now? Or obviously I'm not going to crack out a snowblower at 4:30, but the wife has to leave to get our son to daycare. So
I think the earliest I've been outside on a weekend with the snowblower was actually a couple of weeks ago, like 8 a.m. I think
that's fine. 8 a.m. is fine. 8 a.m. is fine.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Anyway, thank you, brother.
All right. Thank you so much.
You got
Later,
it,
dude. Jamie asks, have you ever purchased anything from those late night infomercials?
My dad has. When I used to just live, it was just my dad and I. He would be buying things from those commercials all the time. And he still has some of the stuff. There's some vases that are like with butterflies and stuff on them that he thinks are worth a lot of money that he bought off TV.
My brother was so deep into buying things off late night infomercials.
Really?
Like, because we, like, when we were sort of at that point of where we're kind of living alone and he had a credit card, that's when the height of infomercials happened. Like Whisper 2000 and Blue Blockers and all of those things. He bought the Bowflex.
No.
Generation 1 Bowflex off a late night infomercial.
Well, let me guess. I bet he's swole now.
Had it delivered? No. And that thing sat in our condo, like our tiny little condo.
Yeah.
So he ordered the Bowflex. He ordered we had the Don Lepre program.
No, you didn't.
Where, placing tiny little ads in newspapers all over America can make you this much money. And then the infomercial was like Don Lepre on a boat with all these like super hot women around him.
And he
like,
did it all from the comfort of his one-bedroom apartment.
Yes, he did. We bought the Don Lepre system.
Did you guys ever use it?
I don't know. Like I'll tell you what the Don Lepre system was, is that you were expecting some sort of insight into how to make money in a new way, like a sort of early 90s version of what would be a side hustle then.
Yeah.
And what you were sent was like 5 binders just full of nonsense. And just, and it was like the strategy wasn't clear, and then you had to have upfront money, all this stuff. It was really, really nuts. He would buy those infomercials on learn how to speak a new language on tape.
Oh, yeah?
He would buy those years ago when CDs started, becoming all the rage.
My husband Matthew bought everything Dr. Ho.
Yeah, all the Dr. Ho
He has
stuff.
all the Dr. Ho stuff still.
The knives. I would come out in the morning and I'd walk out of my room, and sometimes my brother would fall asleep on the couch if he was up late. And if I would see two things on the coffee table would be the phone and his credit card. and I was like, what did you order? But we wound up with everything.
Really?
Remember the Jetstream oven?
Yeah.
Where you put the different rings on it, you could cook a whole turkey on this thing on your oven. We had 2 of those.
No.
Yeah, we had 2 Jetstreams.
All the Starfrit stuff?
No sort of like gadgety things. Like like the knives, yes.
Yeah.
Like remember the knife where the guy would cut a steel toe boot and then cut a tomato?
Yeah.
We had those.
No, he'd fillet a tomato.
Yeah. Like we had all those. My brother was hardcore into ordering all that. And the other thing was that he was very much into get rich quick schemes.
Yeah.
Right. So any of those things where it was somebody's plan where they could, help you get rich quick, he bought it all. Like he bought all of it.
And he helped them get rich.
And he helped them get rich. Yes, Maury.
I never went through with buying, but I would sit there and watch all the infomercials, wondering if it actually worked the way they were advertising. Because some of it was way too expensive for me to afford anyway.
Yeah.
But I would sit there and I'd watch and I'd be amazed that this thing could do what it said it could do.
Right.
But I never went through with it.
Yeah.
What about the late night, chat lines that also advertised?
Oh, yeah. But those were different, though. The original ones of those were what they call party lines, which is you would call. It was like what's that website now that everybody's using? Chat room? What is it called?
Clubhouse.
What? Clubhouse.
Oh, they meant chat room.
No, those ones used to be just like Clubhouse, where you would call into a party line, and then it would just be 25 voices all talking to each other, but on the telephone.
Yeah.
Like
There's no organization in there.
There was zero organization, and that was a 976 number. And so 976 numbers were $2.99 a minute.
Holy.
Right? And they would
too much.
they would advertise these party lines, and people would pay $2.99 a minute. But that's back in the day when even you had to worry about long distance charges. You don't have to worry about long distance charges anymore, do you? When you're calling on a cell phone, like realistically,
no,
right?
No, only for texting.
I had
those SMS charges.
But that's when you're away. But if
That's
I had a girlfriend years ago. And she lived like a long distance away, right?
Yeah.
And if I wanted to talk to
a real
her,
girlfriend, or
she was a very real girlfriend.
Yeah,
but
she's a model.
Man, but I was only allowed to talk to her Sundays after 6.
Yeah,
because that's when it was. That's when it was free.
I was the same when I dated my first boyfriend who lived in Brantford, Ontario.
Yeah, Sundays after 6. That was it. Because the phone company saved Sunday after 6 because that's when people would call their old grandparents and all of that stuff. So Sundays after 6 is when I was allowed to make these long distance phone calls. And man, if my old man ever saw her number on the phone bill from during the week or whatever, it was not good. It was not good.
Robin has a question about our Johnny Depp School of Acting.
Okay.
How does Roz read the lines to Damn It Maury when you guys are doing Johnny Depp School of Acting? Maury always sounds like he's in a race to beat the clock.
Right. Okay. So when we do, so Johnny Depp School of Acting, the way that we used to do it was Maury would have an earpiece in his ear, headphones, and I would feed Maury's lines. We would pick a movie script, and you, Mocha, and Maury would act out the movie script.
Yeah.
There's in the podcast, go back, and there's millions of examples of it. And I would have, Maury would not have the script. Mocha would have the script. So Mocha would read his lines from the script. Maury only had the earpiece in his ear, and then I would sit sort of on the other side of the room. And in Maury's headphones, I would call him on my phone. And then I would hold my phone up to my mouth and quietly read through Maury's portion of the script. But only when I would read through it, why it sounded like Maury was speeding through it is because the way that I would do it is I would get the script from Maury, and the first thing I would do is I would just take out all the punctuation. Right. So I would just like periods meant nothing, like everything. It would just be one long stream of words, because that was funny to me, is listening to Maury trying there was, because it's when I'm saying it to him in his ear, that never seemed like the words would end. Like there was never an end to it.
And he's always
right?
trying to play catch up.
Yes, there was no natural pause in the way that I would say. So that's how it happened. Is Maury would it was all done through a phone, right? Like you would plug your headphones into your phone.
But the other reason why I would speak so quickly is because while I'm talking, I try and finish a word because I want to be able to hear, because while I'm talking, I can't hear.
Yes.
And I also have horrible short-term memory.
Right.
So while words are coming in and words are coming out, I'm trying to remember. It's a lot to do.
Yes. So normally somebody
Even
would
speaking normally right now, it's hard to do.
I swear to God, somebody just fed you all that in your ear. Because, you have to play catch up. And that was the sort of fun part of the Johnny Depp School of Acting. But I don't know if we can do Johnny Depp School of Acting anymore. That guy's got too much heat on him. All that stuff. He got fired from all those movies. And
oh, yeah, no.
I don't know how. I don't know. And it sucks because it was such a fun game, but to sort of go back on the show.
Robert Downey Jr.?
I know, but it's not
the same thing, right?
No, it's just
where he
not
gets lines fed to him.
But then it sounds like we're avoiding something, and I never want to do that. Maybe we'll do something that's similar to that. But I don't know.
Riley says, if you woke up in the year 2069,
jeez, okay,
what would be the first thing you do?
Take a pee.
2069. How many years is that from now? 40 years? 45 years?
Do the math, Maury.
2021. So then with 69, so that goes to 68.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is 41, 40, what did I say? 48 years from now.
Okay.
Boom. Mic drop.
48. So if I woke up in the year...
Am I right?
I don't know. Yeah, you're close.
Okay.
I don't know, man. If I woke up in the year 2069, now, am I like to say that I was in some sort of suspended animation alone?
Sure.
Okay. So the first thing I would do was I would look up Catherine and Roxy.
Yeah.
Catherine would be... old lady, I guess, right? And, she's not 30, 40, 50, 60. Yeah, she would be older. Roxy would be just a little bit older than I am now.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So
wow,
she would be,
so weird.
Yeah, she'd be a little bit older than I am now. So I would probably, that would be my first thing, is to find my family.
Yeah.
And then after that, because I would only trust somebody who I knew from the past to explain to me what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know if I would be able to trust somebody. Like I know if I went to them and said, hey, it's me, I just woke up from suspended animation, it's how many ever years later, it's me, Dad. Roxy wouldn't think that she wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't want to have to go through trying to explain to people that I'm from the past.
Is it not like being released from jail after 40 some odd years?
Very much, yeah.
Right?
Well,
for family that didn't visit you and all of a sudden you're free?
Yeah, but only it would be like being released from jail if you had absolutely no concept of what was going on in the outside world.
I think most people in jail don't.
No, but when you're released from jail, you've aged that. So when you come out of jail, when you go in at 20 and you do a long stretch, you're going to come out and you're going to be almost 60. So you're still going to be 60. But if you woke up right now in 2069, you would be the age you are now. Like you
still
wouldn't
look the same,
you
everything.
wouldn't be an
Everything would
old
be the same.
man.
Oh, I took this as if you woke up like you were sleeping, but you're aging.
Oh, like you were in a coma.
Yeah, that's what this reads to me like.
Oh.
I think they mean if you just woke up and you are who you are
Yes.
now in this moment, but
Yeah.
it's the year 2069. Similar to
didn't read
you,
it that
I
way
would
at
go
all.
looking for, I would like go through my mind and go looking for people who I interact with like on a daily basis and try to find where they are to get some clarity. And obviously I check the internet and stuff like that and see what's going on. in the
Internet.
world.
You wouldn't have the chip in your head. You think there's going to be computer terminals? Hell no.
You don't think so?
No, not like they are today. It's going to be
It'll
something
all be on
completely
glasses and you'd be seeing it in the
exactly.
air.
Plexiglass. Like it's going to be something completely different.
Well, I
We're-
would for sure go find people who I knew.
Yeah, that's
Right?
what I do. You have to go.
Hell
You have
no.
to go find. You got to be
New-
like Mr. Rogers and go find a friend.
Yeah.
Go find the helpers in
New
the crowd.
life, new me, who this?
Oh, God.
I did the math. My husband would be 81,
Yeah.
and knowing how he is health wise now, he ain't going to be around.
No, he wouldn't be around.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you probably wouldn't have a lot of the pesky
I would immediately go in-
STDs that we deal with
No,
now.
so I'd
Either
have-
they'd all have been cured.
No, so
you-
I'd go to my old favorite stomping ground, Zippers, the leather bar.
Right. Okay, so you think that if the world, everything in the world that could change between now and 2069, you think that the one thing that's going to remain is zippers?
You're always going to need zippers.
Jeez. I went to zippers one time.
Did you?
Yeah. I went to all those bars.
Did we hook up?
No more.
Trust me, more, you'd
Please.
remember.
Oh, please. You wouldn't have had a shot.
Oh! Neha says here, chunky or smooth mashed potatoes?
Oh, chunky all the way.
No, smooth for me.
Oh, I like the lumps, though, with the bacon bits.
No, but like the potato.
Yeah,
is-
but I love when it's lumpy and you add some stuff to it. Like, I love lumpy potatoes.
I think that's lazy, though. You don't think
Yeah.
it's lazy to do
Not at
lumpy
all.
potatoes?
It takes actually extra work to leave the lumps in because you have to avoid the lumps.
Yeah, jeez.
No, smooth. Smooth mashed potatoes.
You have to get a ricer if you want to do smooth mashed potatoes, and that's what I do. I boil the potatoes and then put them through the ricer, which turns them into a ricer. Do you know what a ricer is, more?
No.
Okay, you know what a garlic press looks like?
Yes.
Imagine that bigger, but big enough to put a potato in, and then you push
Oh
it
my
down.
god! Oh,
And so-
I've seen the Starfruit one. And it comes
and
out shaped.
No. It comes out just in like little tiny strings. It's like the mop top hair shop for Play-Doh. Like
Oh,
you
okay,
push
yeah.
on it, and then all the potato
Yeah.
just comes out in these tiny little strings. So you put the boiled potato in there, you squish it, and then it comes out in these tiny little
we
strings.
use the handheld thing.
No, because that's how you get glue.
Oh,
That's
How you get what?
Glue.
Glue?
If you use an electric mixer in mashed potatoes, you'll
Yeah.
turn them into glue.
Oh, okay.
Right.
The consistency.
Yeah, it's not good. You mess with not the glutens. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but you mess with the starch will turn to glue.
Oh, okay.
If you use like a beater with them. So I'll put them through the ricer, and then if I do potatoes, you don't have to do this, but I do half a stick of butter per potato.
Oh my God.
Okay,
So
so
you're telling me if
sounds
there's 5
so
potatoes,
good.
that's 5 sticks of butter?
no, I do a half a stick of butter per potato. Okay, so and when I mean stick, I don't mean like the whole giant block, but you know the ones that come in the four,
The tubes.
right? In the tubes, yeah. So if I do like 4, maybe less. No, maybe less. Maybe I'll do a quarter. So if I do like for regular potatoes, like if I'm making potatoes for like me, Rox, and say somebody else, I'll put 2.5 sticks of butter in there. And what I do is I take the butter, put it in a pot, and then take heavy cream and put the heavy cream in that same pot and heat that on low. You don't want it to boil or start to reduce, so you heat that up so your cream gets hot and your butter gets hot. And then I take that and I pour that mixture into the potatoes. And then once the potatoes have gone through the ricer, I take a whisk and I whisk it all together, and that adds salt and pepper. And that is like the smoothest buttery potatoes that you'll ever eat. And
Is it
it's
the
super
biggest
quick.
insult to you if you do all that work and somebody does not go,
No. It's never happened. No, but I'm like you. Smooth mashed
But what about
potatoes.
the skins?
Take them off. But you can. But here's the thing: is that if you really like the way French do mashed potatoes, they will boil them with the skins on.
Yes.
Okay, because you get that flavor, that skin flavor in the water affects the actual flavor on the inside of the potato. Then once they're boiled, they take them out and peel them, discard the skins at that point. Then they run
I'm fine
through
if
the, then they
some
run
skin
through
stays
the
in.
ricer. I'm not at all. Not in the mashed potato. That is lazy trailer park Mashed potatoes.
Now I want mashed potatoes.
Then I am lazy.
What kind of potatoes do you use for mashed potatoes?
I don't know, the big fat, the golden ones.
Are they like what's a good like the skin is what?
Brown.
No, not
So
the
so
not
you're
the dark.
using russet potatoes,
Yeah.
the brown skin, like a baking potato.
That's right.
Right? Yeah.
Sometimes that, but most of the time we have with the light brown skin on it.
Like a
Do you know
like
the other
a
potatoes that are good? Those little mini multicolored ones.
is the inside of the potato. So Maury's using russets. The inside of the potato is very white in a
Yeah.
russet. The inside of the potato that you're using
It's
is
more
it
golden.
more of a waxy golden
Yeah.
kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so those are great for mashed
Yeah.
potatoes
Mm.
because then the potatoes wind up looking. They have a golden sort of hue to them,
Love it.
as opposed to just white. But oh my god, I love mashed potatoes.
I know what I'm having for lunch.
Amy says here, do you call your significant other's parents mom or dad? I was in a 6-year relationship with my daughter's father, and for some reason, I never called his parents mom or dad. My current boyfriend calls all of my family mom, dad, aunt, uncle, etc. without hesitation, and I just don't know if I will ever get to that point. Is there something wrong with me? I don't think anything's wrong with you, Amy. Like my mother-in-law, I call her by her first name. Jenna calls both of my parents by their first name. Like Jenna's aunt from the States. So my mother-in-law's sister, I call her aunt. I call her Aunt Helen. And that's really it. Like,
Yeah, it's interesting. Growing up, every single person I knew called my parents mom and dad.
Yeah.
Every single friend I had, every girl, like even girlfriends would just call them mom and dad. Everybody I knew called my parents mom and dad.
I call your mom.
When I got older, that's weird. When I got older,
that
but
weird?
it's very much like it was when I was young. But when I got older and like when I was married, when I first got married, I never referred to my wife's parents as mom and dad. We just didn't have that kind of relationship. Catherine never knew my dad. So she's also never called my mom. And I have never called Catherine's parents mom and dad. I wouldn't even think to call them mom and dad, like ever. Like I don't know why. To me it's just not something I would do. Like I would never, even as in-laws, I would only ever refer to them as their first names or whatever nickname they like. I'm fine with. I'm fine with that.
I know, like, growing up in, like, a Guyanese household, we would call anyone that wasn't, like, our parents, like, older, you'd call them aunt or uncle. Whether if they were related or not. You would always, it was, like, more of a respect thing. You would call them aunt or uncle.
Okay, interesting.
But as far as, and I can't remember, I don't think anyone that I know in my family that's married, if they call their in-laws mom or dad.
But I used to all the time. Like your parent, like my parents' generation, right? When you had in-laws, you would call me dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was just a thing. It's not a thing anymore.
My mom actually would call my dad's mom
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was a generational thing.
Yeah,
it
now that I
doesn't.
think about it.
Yeah,
Wow.
it doesn't happen anymore. Like when boomers were first getting married, they would always refer to their in-laws as mom and dad.
Yeah.
Always, always, always. And it doesn't happen anymore. Like it really stopped with sort of my generation, like the sort of Gen X generation, where it was just not expected anymore. And I think that it was also when the change of women became free to sort of not take their husband's names.
Yeah.
Right. Where it wasn't so much a mixing of a family. Like marriages used to really be this giant mixing of two families coming together. And it's not that anymore. Now it's two individuals making a decision between themselves. And it's no longer looked at as these two families coming together anymore, where you would just then be the sort of like brought in under the wing of your in-laws, where it was like, call me dad, call me mom. And like, would you ever refer to your sister-in-law as just your sister?
No.
No, but people used to.
Oh, wow.
Right?
No, she's my sister-in-law.
Yeah, people used to.
Dan Maury.
I call all of Matthew's parents like Lucy. You know, his mom, I call her Nellie. His dad, I have many other names for. But on my side, he will call Granny. He'll say Granny.
Yeah.
Nana is Nana.
Yeah.
My dad said, call me Dad. He did that.
Yeah.
And I jumped in and I'm like, with all due respect, can we just call you Frank? Because that's cool.
Right.
And
You
Matthew
sort of took
thinks
something away from your dad there, I think, though.
Yeah.
No, Matthew thinks it's insulting, but I said, you know what, to be completely honest with you, I think my dad loves that I call him Frank. Because it's, I think he loves his name so much that it's a respect thing for me to call him Frank.
Or maybe he feels that something's missing because you call him Frank, but he loves you too much to tell you to call him Dad, and he was really looking forward to
I used to call him Daddy all the time.
Somebody calling him Dad, and that's why he asked Matthew. Like I think that if your dad goes to Matthew and says, "Call me Dad," I think that you got to give your dad that, because I think that that's something that he was probably looking forward to.
Oh well, now I feel bad.
Yeah.
Every week on Instagram, at Kiss925 is where you will find Ask Roz Mocha. Feel free to ask your questions,
What a bummer.
and we'll go through a bunch of them. I know.
Morty's going to call Frank now.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
on Kiss 92.5
Kiss925.com.
or download the Kiss 92.5 app.